Already. 7-1 Entertainment.
Boom, daddy.
Dude, I remember when Biggie shouted you out,
That
bro.
was dope.
That was dope.
Sick.
That was nice of him to do that.
It's me.
It's him,
It's me.
the boy.
I'm on my Dean today, as you could tell by the glasses and the beard that's getting scruffy.
It's the white Dr. Umar over there.
Well, I feel more like I'm the carpentry industry's Mickey Morandini.
That's strong.
Okay.
That's a strong statement from a Phillies fan.
Sitting across from the Joe Carter of the 808.
See, don't put that on me. Don't put that juju on me.
And on the right side of me, the Mitch Williams of the Facebook Live game.
I'm saying, you already know it's the bull with the white ivory necklace on, Bruiser Brody T. You heard me?
I get this feeling you're not much of a Phillies fan for you to be throwing those names around like that.
Those are just the names that I
You're
remember.
familiar with.
Yeah. I was a Phillies
Mitch
fan
Williams
back
is
in
the guy
'93.
who cost them the World Series.
That's
and
me,
Joe
though.
Carter's the guy who hit it.
But I know Joe Carter. I thought it would be funny if we named you Joe Carter.
Thanks.
And I also know Mitch Williams is the wild thing,
Wild Thing.
which I feel fits Biz's persona very well.
This is true.
It's me.
So that is,
Clap.
if you didn't catch it, it's me, Intellectual Wintertime Cove,
Wintertime Cove.
Payday Jones,
1 day below the 60s in its wintertime.
and Biz Mighty.
It's him, the boy.
And it's volume 12
12.
of the Tool Shed. We're here for another week, as we always are on Mondays. If you like what you see this evening or on the playback, check out some of the other videos on the YouTube page. We got a whole plethora of episodes that you can get into and listen to.
All you gotta do is YouTube the Gig Podcast, and then there's a plethora of hits.
Hits, all hits. It's kind of like Michael Jackson's greatest hits, double disc, mad tracks.
Yeah.
You can play it all the way through.
It's basically a box set at this point.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
True indeed.
He's a good man, actually.
True.
Without a doubt. So we got some people in the chat. I want to say what's up to y'all. I don't know who anybody is because it's not showing up, but you're welcome to announce yourselves, and we appreciate y'all being here to play along with this little game that we call
The Tool Shed.
Life.
The
Oh,
Tool
the
Shed.
Tool Shed.
What do you want to start off with there, Bizzler?
Did you see the Dave Chappelle stand-up yet?
I saw it, but why don't you tell me about it?
Did you see it, P?
I did not.
What the
But
fuck?
I know what you're going to talk about.
But maybe you don't.
No,
Or
but
don't.
I would like to hear where you stood on, if you watched it, what you felt about it, and if you thought it was in good taste, if it was funny, etc.
Well, I can tell you it doesn't matter to me if it's in good taste. Like
Because it's comedy.
because it's art.
Okay.
Like if you're presenting art as art, then good taste is irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know, we've lived through painting naked fat women and it's been beautiful art. We've lived through crucifix dipped in urine is beautiful art. There's no
I don't know about that one.
Oh, that's from like the 90s. There's so much subjectivity to art that just because I may not like something or may not like your position on something, if you're presenting it as art, present it however the fuck you want.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I'm going to stop
but,
hitting the table.
But by the same token, you know, and I'm not necessarily saying this directed at Dave in particular, but say it however the fuck you want, but if there's consequences, there's consequences. Like,
Yeah.
like the dude who did the urine thing had all kinds of fucking problems with the government afterwards. That's the consequences of being rebellious in your art.
Yeah, and it's also like, it's just funny because I think because, whatever, we lived in a time where things were said like this and there wasn't any consequence because it was underneath the umbrella of that is comedy, and we were allowed to laugh at things even if they were, I mean, some of my favorite comedians ever are say terrible things, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I just watched that Shane Gillis special for the first time, and there's jokes about him going, are there going to be kids there? You know, or like that joke. Like, that's a funny fucking
Shane Gillis
joke.
is out of pocket with some of the shit he
Yeah.
says. But you know that he's saying it in jest as a comedian.
Yeah.
At
And
least
it's funny
I do,
because
you
it's
know?
uncomfortable. The part of that,
Yeah.
that what's funny about it is that it's uncomfortable. When Dave Chappelle made the joke about, you know, transgender girls' pussies are different, you know what I mean? That was just, it was a funny thing. And then it's like social because we're in this time, you know? And then what he's saying is honest and true, you know what I mean? And I love that kind of comedy because I think somewhere along the line, in light of the verses last night that I didn't watch much of, but KRS and Kane.
Big Daddy.
And how, you know, they're talking about real shit. Like, they're talking about, like, so there's a lot of knowledge in that music and a lot of, like, anti-establishment in that
King
music.
Asiatic, nobody's equal.
There's a lot of that where that doesn't exist so much in hip hop anymore, and I think that that's the same to be said with someone like Chappelle. Like a lot of dudes are not doing, they're doing more safe comedy than they're doing stuff that's really pushing the envelope, at least on the mainstream. I think it's funny that the people like gave the backlash on Netflix when Netflix has a ton of really questionable things, in my opinion, that they've had on their programming.
Yeah, I think if you want to dislike Dave, go right the fuck ahead. I like I said, I didn't see this special, so I don't have any opinion on this in particular. You don't want to like him, go ahead. You want to decide you used to like him and now he says this, you don't like him anymore, go ahead. Going after Netflix for this, when with the volume of stuff that they have on there, is just capitalizing on the fact that Dave is in the spotlight right now. That's all that is. And maybe there is something to be said for that. Like, hey, now that we have somebody we can attach this to, we can really make a statement how we want to make it.
Right.
But yeah, there's so much on Netflix that if you parse through everything, there's got to be way worse stuff.
Yeah, but it's
absolutely.
Dave. He's like
right.
the king.
Well, he's getting $20 million from Netflix, and that's part of the equation.
Well, you know
but Netflix is also funding things like Orange is the New Black and other stuff where it's very, the opposite of what Dave is presenting.
They're a network essentially.
Yeah, it's like, I think they had zero interest in the message except for the fact that they knew that Dave's message is going to raise some eyebrows.
And people are gonna watch it because it's fucking Dave.
That's what I'm saying. They don't care what he's saying. They care that they're getting eyeballs watching his special. They know that they're not really associated with it, and they could say like, we're not saying that.
Well,
and I think that Dave is big enough that he's uncancelable at this point. His fan base is large enough that I think so many people are kind of, one, understand that comedy is comedy, and two, or side with him to the point where it's like, the minority is those who are loud and trying to speak up against him. He's earned his way to the top of the stand-up game without a doubt.
Yeah.
Just by, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everybody, Daddy. So, like, just by being smart and being honest and sticking to his guns and his opinion, whether people agree with it or don't agree with it, I think most people will respect a man who has a stance and sticks to the stance, whatever that stance may be, whether it's controversial or not.
Especially like he's speaking things that 30% of his audience doesn't agree with, but the 30% of his audience is still his audience, so they still get it and they still acknowledge him as a person, which we need a lot more of that in general anyway, with just people understanding people's different perception and not shitting all over them because they think that what they're saying is hateful or whatever the fuck it may be.
I start to wonder, right, because you know that there's going to be backlash, air quotes, right? But I start to wonder, like, because I didn't hear anything, to me, nothing seemed like outright disrespectful or like targeting anybody.
No,
right?
and then he also brings it all home at the end when he tells that story about the transgender comedian that he had open for him because of his last special where he talked down about transgender people and then he was trying to incorporate it and understand these people. It's like he was like getting his point across, you know what I mean?
Right. So the question,
and then still made a joke about her killing herself.
Yeah.
You know?
So the question to me, right, becomes, and this is like a question across the board for everything in the world and mostly on the internet, maybe not the real world, is like, are you really mad or is this your chance to like stand up and say, hey, we're offended too. Wait a second, here's something like I'm victims too. Now listen, I don't know how much. What's up, Casey? Thanks for coming in, Casey in the chat. Like I don't know anything about a struggle of being trans. It is what it is. I will never know. Nor, to be honest, it's just not something that touches my life. So, like, I hope the best. If you're trans, I hope the best for you in your life,
Right.
And that's all I can really say. But at the same time, it's like, who's standing up, right? Is everybody who's yelling at him trans, or are they just people who found a reason to stand up and be like, hey, we're angry about this. You can't say that. As if we didn't know that Chappelle was going to come from that angle, because it's been playing out that way. He mentions it in the special that this is this huge back and forth that he's having with the
from his last special, because he had some shit last special where he's going LGBTQ LMNOP or whatever the fuck, and just in that right there, people were fucking
in uproar. Funny. Like, why don't you take yourself stop taking comedy serious?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
agree.
Like either everything can be a joke or nothing can be a joke.
But
No.
Absolutely.
No, there has to be nuance because there's a difference. There's a difference between Dave Chappelle saying something and the guy at Helium saying something. Dave Chappelle, like you were saying, has such a big audience that when he says things, when he speaks politics, there are people that will listen to him and adopt his political viewpoints because they trust, even though he's a comedian, I understand that.
Right.
But he talks a lot of real life stuff. So there are people who will he'll speak his politics and go, Dave Chappelle made a really good point the other day about blah, 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 blah. And I think I see it that way now. So,
But my question is, why is
it can't just-
sexuality even a thing that's political?
Well, I'm not saying that sexuality necessarily is, but first of all, these days everything is unfortunately political.
Right.
But sexuality is not necessarily political, but it is part of the human condition. So, again, I'm not saying that he said this, but if Dave Chappelle gets up on stage and says, you see a trans person, you should punch him in the dick because that's funny because they still have a dick. I could kick him in the nuts because that's hilarious. And
if he says it in a fun, that's not a funny way to say it. But if he frames it in a way that's funny, then it's funny and it's a joke.
It can still be funny and be off color. But what I'm saying is, it's very different for him to say something like that than it is for a guy, the headliner at Helium, because you're never going to leave the Helium and have, 100,000 people go, man, I like what he said about transsexual people. But at a Dave Chappelle show on Netflix with $20 million behind it, you may be able to sway people with the words he's saying,
but I
even
don't
though he's just a comedian. Our best comedians throughout the history of all of comedy, especially in America, they're usually really good at bringing you into the center of society and speaking about the flaws in it.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful when you have enough power while you're doing that you're not influencing people to make those flaws worse.
Yeah, but I don't think he's necessarily influencing anything but thought. He's just letting people think.
But that's what you influence. He's not going to sit there with a gun and say, do what I'm telling you.
So you don't want anybody to think from a different viewpoint.
No.
That's because that's what it just sounded like.
No,
it's like
not.
you don't want anybody, like you have to be careful what you're saying because you may bring on a different viewpoint that somebody thinks now another way about a topic.
No, what I'm debating with you is the idea that everything is comedy or nothing is comedy is a bullshit line. That's just excusing bad behavior when there is bad behavior.
If it's funny, it's comedy.
Like even with, I know this is not a free speech issue because the government's not involved, but even within the idea of free speech, there are still things that are parsed out and said, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, or the government will come down on you. So even at the top level where we develop the idea of free speech as being this great thing, there's still a list of things that you cannot fucking do because it's a problem. So why can't that apply anywhere else? Like, hey, go ahead, make your jokes, but the minute you're suggesting violence is the way to go, maybe it's not so fucking funny.
Yeah, but he's
anymore.
not. He's not, though.
He's not.
Again, and I've never heard anyone make a joke where the violence was really
incited.
I'm outside of
You're stretching.
No.
You're stretching to get
No, he didn't watch the show. But
I'm talking about the idea in general.
Yeah, no, but
I
that's
can't
what
talk
you're
about
saying.
specifically about
But
this.
what you're doing, you're stretching to say that, like,
I'm not stretching.
To say that
That's
if
a
you're
guy who
making
has an audience.
if you're making a joke about violence, but you're not. Nobody's making a joke about violence.
Absolutely.
And if they're making a joke,
Dave makes jokes about violence all the time. His first
then
fucking
a joke
special,
is what it
one of the
is.
funniest fucking things is talking about punching another guy in the face because he didn't agree with his politics.
I don't remember that part,
He's
but
telling
I believe
a story.
it.
He's telling a story about.
And you just said it. It was one of the funniest
Yes,
things. Did you want to go
because-
outside and punch a guy in the face because of his politics
No,
afterwards?
because he was talking in general. He didn't say find a person who represents this and punch them in the face. He just said the other guy. So that's the difference.
So it seems like you were trying to like get to a spot to find like you're trying to pinpoint an exact thing that didn't even really happen to say, yo, you can't do this.
I'm trying to say that as your platform grows, you have to be more cognizant of what you're saying. You can't when you're the top guy in this field, you can't say the same shit you could say when you were coming up because there's too many fucking people listening to you with too much fucking focus, and you have to be more careful.
I disagree.
It doesn't mean you can't talk about topics and things like, oh, you can't. Oh, well, you can disagree. You're welcome to. But like we see it all the time. When someone gets to that level of influence, you have to be a little more particular.
Yeah, but what
you don't have to not talk about it. That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to exclude topics, but you have to be a little bit more careful about how you talk about it. Because
Everyone's
look
careful.
at what happens with Joe Rogan.
Everyone's
right?
so
Joe
careful.
Rogan. is a Joe Rogan is a guy who has a shit ton of followers, and anything he says, any fucking medical advice he gives, even though he's the furthest thing from a fucking doctor, there are a group of those people who will go out and follow his advice. Now, Joe Rogan will tell you
that's not on him.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Because
if you tell me, right?
Right.
Listen, if you're like, hey man, I found out that like I get a whole lot more hydrated when I drink toilet water.
Right.
Right? And I go drink toilet water. That's on me for being the idiot who goes to drink toilet water.
Not when you have 10 million listeners. No.
You're giving way too much power to a man.
You can see it. You can see the effects of it.
But that's
It's not- I'm not
on him.
giving
It doesn't
it to
come
him.
on him.
I'm
It comes on the idiots who who are following whatever they hear blindly.
When you wield power, with great power comes great responsibility. That's how it works.
Yeah, but sometimes you can
reach
just
10 million,
troll.
when you reach 10 million people and you are now aware that if you say something, a portion of that 10 million will like follow your advice like it's gospel. You have to be more careful with what you're saying at that point. You
Kanye
just
West
have to.
had people wearing sunglasses that you couldn't see out of.
That's not exactly the same as.
It's very close.
It's
It's a
very
guy
similar.
having
Yeah,
influence
yeah.
and a bunch of fucking idiots wearing glasses that
Okay.
they can't see out of.
So-
It's not fucking
Now, is
Kanye West's
is
fault that these
Kanye the
people are walking
asshole?
in the polls.
Yes.
No,
No.
he's not.
Of course he
You're
is.
gonna,
No,
I know
why?
You're gonna stick, I know you're going to stick to it.
So wait. So Kanye West in the scope of this conversation, right?
Who now just goes by Ye.
He's not a fashion mogul and a trendsetter. He doesn't put out fucking sneakers that millions of people line up and
Yeah,
purchase.
they're hideous shoes.
I agree with you, but that's not the point. We can agree.
But I think it's a funny troll.
He's a fashion mogul, right? Like we can agree to that. Like
To
when
a
he
degree, yeah,
when
he
he
is.
puts out something about fashion,
But that goes with anything
people
with
pay attention.
trends.
Yes.
But
so
that's
you have to be careful. So like
no, why?
Pete, I don't think you see how close you lean towards fascism.
completely the other way. All I'm saying is
I
when
don't think-
when you have power, you have to be aware of your power. What's fucking fascist about that?
I don't disagree.
And
but
I'm
but
still
you
not
stick
saying you
to-
got to get in trouble.
But this has been a reoccurring theme is that
Yeah.
you think certain people can't say certain things.
I think you have to be more careful. That's not can't. That's wording, right? That's wording. If I walk up to you, right, and I say, I was having this conversation with my friend yesterday, so let me just go with it.
Okay.
My friend calls me. He says, my brother, his wife is a terrible human being.
Yeah.
Right? And I really think that he should probably not be with her anymore.
Right.
Can I call him up and say, your wife's a fucking cunt, and you should really fucking get away from her?
You can,
No,
but you have to
can't.
deal with the consequence of
But
that.
hold on,
You
hold on.
have to, if you want to do that and execute it properly, you can't say those words. You can give him that sentiment.
That word might be what works for him, though.
Yeah, that's what I call and say to Biz. I don't
No,
ever call
it's
Biz
true.
like, hey man, I know you seem a little bit beat up, but hey, cheer up. I say, yo, stop with the bullshit and grab your nuts and fucking be a man, because
and that doesn't work because we've seen even as recently as last Thursday.
works
he's
for the
still on
moment.
Facebook.
Hey, I'm great right now.
sometimes it works for
No,
the
but I'm
moment.
saying, I think you need it. And also back to the point of Chappelle, everyone's fucking saying the same fucking thing. Everyone. There's a long, huge bar graph
so
of
what's
everyone
the
saying the same exact shit.
Right.
You got one little guy named Dave Chappelle with great influence.
He's not a little
but he's
guy.
that. Yes, he is. He's
He's
one
He's
human
one
being.
man. You're giving one man way too much
And not
power.
only this, but the whole entire media has ramped up against what he said on top of him just saying this one thing, which was a funny thing meant to be a joke. When we were kids, when we were younger, when we were growing up, there was a plethora of comedians out there. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, all these people saying fucking shit about women, about kids, about
And
people in the other race, and we all just sat back and laughed. Now there's one person that's still sticking to it, not just one person. There's Louis out there, there's Bill Burrs, there's people out there, and Bill Burr is walking that line really tight now that he's wherever he's going with his mind. I don't even know. Anyway, there's a few people out there still that are still sticking true to their guns and being a comedian. A lot of them haven't had to keep the same influence. Aside from the Louis and the Dave Chappelles, there's not many people out there that can still be a true, honest to good, real ass comedian and fucking and do what their true heart is telling them to do.
But you can clearly see that that's not true because Dave just did it. So what's to stop anybody else from doing it?
What did Dave just do?
Dave just did something
Went out
after
and spoke his mind however he felt
because
like.
because he had years and years of coming up in a place where he was allowed to say what he wanted to say and everyone was okay with it. Then 2011 happened and everything started pussification of America,
well, I think,
where
listen,
everyone gets fucking scared.
To counterpoint Biz real quick, right?
You can, but just 1 second. What was the pivot in 2011?
I don't know. I gave because I feel like it was a few years after I graduated high school, which was 2008.
Okay.
A few years after I graduated, I felt like everything became more sensitive. And the only thing that I had to find that was like still keeping it true and keeping it aggressive was like South Park and a few comedians. And everything else started to seem slowly. It was about toxic masculinity. It was about respecting people's boundaries. And then that turned into respecting people's pronouns. And that turned into you can't say that because people would be offended. And it became people's feelings over everything. And I think that became with the rise of Facebook, the rise of Ritalin, the rise of drugs, the rise of this, the rise of people on social media thinking that their voice matters more than anything else. A loud fucking minority of people that group together, just like one person starts a fucking mosh pit, that person's an individual. The second person's a close follower to that individual. The 30th person that joins that mosh pit is a sheep. So everyone else that ends up in this one little fucking thing is all taking place in something that they might not even believe in, but they're part of this group. So now the part of that group is this massive group. And then you got Dave Chappelle, who's saying something that a lot of people are thinking, but a lot of people aren't saying it because a lot of people are afraid of consequence. But Dave Chappelle don't give a fuck. He walked away from $50 million because he didn't want to downgrade Black America any longer with the Chappelle show. So he doesn't, if anyone can fucking stand on this ground, it's Dave Chappelle who can say, no, I said fuck the establishment because I didn't fuck with what they were doing. And goddamn it, I'm still Dave goddamn
didn't
Chappelle.
Say fuck the establishment. He went to the top fucking content producer in the world to get his money. But going back to your other point, my question was going to be, is it possible that it didn't change in 2011, but you became more aware of it?
No.
Because fucking Lenny Bruce got arrested left and right for just getting up on stage and saying the F word. Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy,
but
that
Eddie
was a
Murphy,
different time.
Eddie
We're
Murphy,
talking a different time.
Eddie Murphy faced all kinds of fucking backlash when he did Raw and Delirious and all the gay stuff that was in there and the AIDS. There has been backlash for comedians since the beginning of time from the people that they offend.
In my lifetime.
I think one thing that Biz did say though is
Okay.
that okay, so Chappelle can say whatever the fuck he wants because he's built himself up to this level, right? And I think that one of the issues here is that a lot of comedians, pretty much all of them, are smaller than Chappelle or have less pull, or
Agreed.
you know what I mean?
He's the top guy. There's no question.
So they are,
and he deserves to be the
they're
top guy.
scared to like speak whatever it is that is their truth or make jokes about the things that they want to make. That falls on that we're losing some of our balls here as a society because, and I don't think that you should be scared to say what you want, right? Because we see like with Chappelle or like with, we see episodes where this works, where you stick to your guns and say, like, no, I fucking said what I meant. As long as you're not being wild, disrespectful, and
you're
and out
funny,
of pocket,
bro.
And as a comedian, you got to be funny.
So you do have a window in there, right? You do have wild out of pocket. Now the problem is who defines what's wild out of pocket.
If it's funny,
if it's
not
funny,
doesn't
it's
matter.
not wild out of pocket.
Kramer wasn't
funny.
funny.
There's a lot of shit that can be funny.
Yeah,
that
that's
really
true. Yeah,
shouldn't be.
just yelling the N-word at
Agreed.
somebody,
Totally.
not that funny.
So we're in agreement that he should have faced some sort of backlash for doing
He
that.
did, yeah. Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of opinion.
It's a matter of being funny, Peg, because their job is to be fucking funny. So if they're being funny and they're being thought-provoking, then they're doing their job, especially in underground culture where everyone else is saying, fucking respect our pronouns. All that shit, so you got one person.
Take a breath. So let's stick with Kramer.
Breathing a lot.
Let's stick with Kramer for a second because I think we're closer on that one, right? So
it's a camera there.
So your problem is with the Kramer thing is that it wasn't funny, right?
Yeah.
But that's you judging that, right?
No one thought that was funny.
What if I could find a bunch of people who did?
You can't.
What if
it's got to breathe?
What if the same people who watch YouTube for like the guys who run out and slap old women in the face think that was funny too because they think cringe humor is the funniest fucking thing on the planet?
Then you're absolutely
so then what happens?
right. If it's
so
fun,
now who judges what's out of pocket?
we don't get to. We can
Right.
say it's out of pocket,
So all you
but
can
that
do-
doesn't mean that we have any pull in what he says or what happens after he says it.
So all
Also-
you can do is what you do, and if you're afraid of the pushback, then you're a pussy. Especially in today's day and age. Because look at Shane Gillis. Look at how much money he made off of doing his own special on YouTube after he got pushed out of the spotlight.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
And he's
anybody
still a
can do
dude on the
whatever they
come
want.
up. He's a still dude on the come up.
Yeah.
He's still a dude that was just doing helium. He's still a
Right.
dude that's just working his shit
and
out
he's
and
making
getting
a
up.
fortune
Yeah.
after being so-called canceled.
And he's
so go ahead,
also
say what you
and
want,
he's doubling
but that doesn't-
down on that
But
shit.
that doesn't mean that it doesn't have consequences.
Yeah,
What's
but
wrong
it
with
doesn't
that?
matter. I don't speak for funny. I'm just a person that
Right.
sits down and enjoys things that are funny.
Feel free.
Comedians that work for this shit can speak for funny. People that do this shit for a living can speak for funny. Chappelle is a comedian's comedian.
For their brand of funny.
No, but for comedy, for people that work on this shit, I think that I have a better stand. You ever write a rhyme?
Yes.
All right.
But
In this situation,
Okay.
you've wrote way less rhymes than I've written.
question about
okay?
it.
So I
Substantially.
believe
Right.
that I am a better judge of rhyming than you are. I just believe that. I'm not saying that you do. I'm saying that I think I've put pen to pad more often than you have. So when I'm breaking down a Lupe Fiasco album, not saying that you're not a writer, not
Right,
saying
right,
that you
right.
don't understand
No.
it. I'm just saying that I think that I can dissect that and appreciate it more than you can. Not, I
So-
don't know if that's true.
No.
I'm just saying
but
that's
so-
how I believe.
So let me go the reverse of that. So is there any chance that you've certainly written more than I have? You certainly have a bigger body of work than I have. There's no question about that. But I can tell you it's a pretty good odds that I've listened to way more
I
of the
agree.
music than you
I
have.
agree.
So can't I have a discerning ear because of the quantity that I've listened to
Yes,
and paid attention to?
in a different way, though.
Okay,
in a different
exactly.
way because
So-
I'm writing. So yes,
you can
just
listen to
like
so you
just
can listen
like
to Lupe Fiasco and go, this guy is fucking brilliant, and here's why he's brilliant, and here's what he strings together, and here's the wordplay he's doing. And I could listen to him and go, compared to some other guys, I don't see it. So I don't listen to Lupe, and you listen to Lupe all the time. It's all fucking subjective.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you,
subjective.
so
in
you just gotta do your
comparison,
thing
in
and face your
comparison,
consequences.
in comparison to a person who is an outside perspective, an audience member, and so, and I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal
I
here.
know.
I'm just saying that there's a difference between an audience and a fucking people that are in the field. And I think that
Okay.
with something like what Chappelle's doing, people in the field see him on this level of not only a funny person, but a truth speaker and someone that's doing something against the grain as far as public political shit.
So you're agreeing with me then?
Agreeing with you about what?
People see him as a truth speaker.
Yeah,
So
people
now
see,
that now
because
that he's
just like
under-
old school hip hop, just like KRS and Big Daddy Kane, which we don't have it anymore.
Okay.
That's what you have in Chappelle. You still have someone that's speaking their mind,
So
as
now that
opposed
you-
to pussifying it down for the global world to appreciate.
So take KRS-One, right? You don't think that once KRS-One realized the grasp that he had on especially the black community and the rap community, he wasn't very particular in what he said and how he said it to make sure his message
Yeah,
got
but-
to who it had to get
I
to.
think
But that's
Chappelle's doing
fine.
the same thing, though.
But who gets to tell him that?
The reaction of the audience, the
Yeah.
reaction
And
of the crowd.
and then it's
I
up
agree.
to him to decide whether
he
he
wants
wants
to
to
push
run with
through
it or
it.
not.
Exactly.
And also,
Here's-
he has the same kind of thing with influence. If KRS says something like this, there's going to
Yeah.
be people that say, "Oh, well, KRS said it."
100%.
And I'm not saying that you're wrong in that factor as
Right.
far as Chappelle, but I think that with comedy, it's a little bit different,
It
and
is.
only this
you
way.
You have greater leeway.
But you
absolutely
also
do.
have subjectation. You also have people
Yeah.
taking it and being like, as opposed to being like, oh, shit, rap is militant.
Right.
Comedy is thought-provoking.
Sure.
It's supposed to be, especially
Yeah.
when you're good at it.
If you're good at it, absolutely.
And I just think that Chappelle is a person standing on the side of what a lot of people are thinking
All
and
right, hold
not
on.
saying.
So let me rephrase the whole thing, right? So we can both agree. First of all, we're both agreeing that he should be allowed to say whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, we're both agreeing that he's top notch, top of the game. There's nobody better right now. But we're both agreeing that he touches on controversial topics, right?
Yeah, but
And
that's
he-
part
hold
of what
hold
makes
on.
you a good comedian.
Hold on. So he touches on controversial topics and he presents controversial views, right?
Yeah, but
Okay, hold on.
controversial only
So-
to the mainstream.
So then why are you upset that he's admired in controversy? That's
I'm
what
not
he's
upset
doing.
that he's admired
Okay.
in controversy.
So then what are
I'm
we talking
admired.
about?
I'm upset that people are trying to shit on him like what he's doing
That's
is
what
the
controversy-
Yeah, but
Antichrist.
here's the thing.
That's
Here's
what
the thing.
controversy
I
is.
don't
But it's-
think.
no,
I
it's
don't
a
think he cares.
difference.
I don't think he
No, he
cares.
doesn't.
Not even a little bit.
Nope.
Like I think that he expected it,
Yeah.
welcomed it, and wanted it. to touch on a topic that's going to get this small percentage of people so riled up that they're going to hate him and they're going to say, no, you should fucking cancel
I
him.
don't know that he wanted it.
I don't doubt that he welcomes it.
No, welcome it is different than wanting it, though. Like, just being like, I'm going to say what I am unapologetically and speak my mind because I'm a comedian. The best comedy you're going to get out of me is the honest comedy.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think that Chappelle thought to himself, like, oh, this is going to kick up some dust.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right.
He even, he speaks on it
right.
in the special.
Right. Listen, let me tell you this.
You're making my point.
Well, let me tell you a different point because we're speaking about, like, the whole trans thing and, like, respect and people with platforms, right? And I think that this week, like, some things have happened in the news or whatever, whereas, like, a huge star came out and is, like, asking the public to respect a certain thing that is, like, not respected, and people are getting in an uproar because Demi Lovato wants us to respect aliens' pronouns.
Yeah.
And we're not.
It's very important.
The fact that we're calling them aliens is highly disrespectful.
They didn't ask for that.
No, I'm on board with her, right? Because I also call them extraterrestrials. I'm sorry. I apologize for using the A word at the beginning of this little rant
Just to grab
here.
attention. I get it.
Yeah, but I'm angry thinking that, like, across America for generations, it's been okay to use the A word to describe extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
And now that somebody's finally speaking out about it, finally somebody has the courage to come out into the public and say, you know what, enough is enough.
Yeah, it's time for change.
It's time for change.
Yeah.
Because the A's, the extraterrestrials, what if you were called the A word?
Yeah,
How would you feel about it? Say you were called the A word.
I'd feel dismissed. I'd feel like I wasn't a real thing.
Yeah.
I'd feel like I was second to everything else.
Yeah.
I'd feel like I wasn't appreciated.
Yeah.
I'd feel like, who are you to say this about me? What, am I not on your level?
Right.
You know, what if I was in Earth at one point?
Yeah.
What if I left Earth because I was far advanced, and now you want to dismiss me with this slur?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
you hear
because at
things. You
one
hear
point-
things like this, and excuse me, okay?
Yeah.
But you hear things like,
Get him.
like these goddamn aliens.
Yeah.
These goddamn aliens. They took me and they stuck something in my butt. These
Yeah.
damn aliens.
How-
You know?
yeah.
Get it together. Get it together.
Listen, because
how long ago did E.T. come out? Well, we're still
83.
And we're still doing this.
83, and
Still
we're still
using the A
doing
word.
this. It's almost it's damn 20 some odd year, 30 some odd damn years.
I'm sick of the stereotype of the anal probe.
If anyone is the person, Demi Lovato leading this is the way it should be.
Without a doubt.
Do
I
you
think we all
know
need to
that she
fall-
has a show coming to HBO Max where she's in the sky looking at extraterrestrials? Her sister and her good friend.
I was unaware, but I'm excited.
Yeah, well,
I'm excited
everyone,
for it for sure, without a doubt.
If you can find it on YouTube, go home and look it up. It's the new show on HBO Max. It's coming, and it's Demi Lovato exploring the sky for extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
And just have the foresight and the wherewithal to realize that extraterrestrials are people too, and that you can't just totally.
Are they though?
You can't just. Well, listen, I think that they are. They're beyond people. Honestly, we're second to them.
Yeah.
So for us to try to degrade these people and degrade them, and
These terrestrials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. How do we know
LGBTQT.
E.T. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. How do we know that thousands upon thousands of years ago, before civilization started, I mean, there's the rumors, and it's kind of disrespectful to even call them rumors because knowing what me and you know about extraterrestrials, we know that the pyramids were built by extraterrestrial beings.
Yeah, who else was putting that big gold cap up there and running as a conduit?
So at one
it wasn't
time,
these regular run-of-the-mill human beings.
At one time, they were polyterrestrial. Okay?
Yeah.
It's possible that they were bi-terrestrial.
Yeah.
Maybe lived on two terrestrial planets at once.
Terrestrial sexuals.
Yeah. Terrestrosexual. Terrestrial. Let's try and work that one in.
There it is.
Yeah. It's possible that they could have been... It's truth that they were here first.
Yeah.
So not only do we need to stop calling them the A word, let's cut that from our vocabulary because every time I hear it, I think of a Guatemalan
Me
taking
too.
my job.
100%.
And that's not
And that's
what
not
we're
where
talking
we want
about.
to put them. We don't want to put them on the
We're
same
not
level.
trying to categorize them in that same
not-
category as Haitian criminals who were let out of a jail and put in Texas.
This is 100% right. These people are not hopping our walls. They left our earth thousands of years ago.
Absolutely.
So they're beyond walls.
Yeah.
There's no walls in space.
No. There's no walls and there's no A word.
No A word.
All right, and while we're at it, I think we need to dead the stereotype of the anal probe,
Yeah.
and we need to stop saying
Are
that.
you calling all those people liars?
I'm going to call
Is
it
that
hate
what you're
speech.
doing?
I'm pretty-
going to
That's
call
a
it
rough-
hate
Hate
speech.
speech,
That's a
absolutely.
rough
It's
one.
hate
You're-
speech.
You're saying that their personal experiences are a lie?
Because what I'm going to tell you is all of those
Because I'm
people.
to understand that your personal
No.
experience dictates everything else.
Because what I'm going to tell you is every time you hear about an anal probe,
Right.
they're calling them the A words.
Uh-huh.
You know, and that's like
Just
dropping
like,
it.
Just like they say the N-word shot me,
Yeah.
but they really have a
Exactly.
bullet in them.
Yeah, but it wasn't an
they're-
N-word.
they're-
But do we
they're-
trust? But do we trust a racist like
they're-
that?
they're
Are we
anim-
I
going to
don't.
trust somebody who
They're-
would speak so foul about another race?
Their
will
No,
not.
and we're not
animosity-
going to trust somebody who would speak that foul about
is true.
extraterrestrial beings who have feelings, hearts, desires,
Their-
wants,
their-
needs, and families.
This
Their
is very true.
animosity towards the experience does not mean the experience didn't happen.
I don't.
Well, yeah,
You
but-
can drop all the
but
N-words
you
you
become-
want,
you
but
become-
if you got shot, you got
We're
shot.
talking about A words, P,
Yeah.
first
Right.
of all.
Okay.
Same
Second
thing.
of all, and you know what? It is the same thing. And I'm glad you said that because it really is the same thing. And we need to get past this as a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
You don't hear extraterrestrials with their hip hop song saying my aliens, my aliens, my
You're right.
aliens.
You're right.
They're over there doing their own thing. We're not even aware. They're above and beyond us.
extra,
How do you know?
if you will.
They're extra, man. All right, listen.
how do you know, though?
And listen, if I was getting caught up, right, and a black man shot me, and
Yeah.
I said that N-word shot me,
Yeah.
I should be discredited.
You'd be a shitty person who got shot.
No,
the
but
got
I
shot
could be
part would have
discredited.
still happened.
I could be discredited.
Not if
and
there's
I
a
should
bullet
be,
in you.
and I should
Absolutely
be
not.
discredited.
You should be labeled
Here's
as
my
an
thing.
asshole
All
who
right,
got shot.
ready? Leftist communist pig. Ready? Okay. If I say something like that,
Uh-huh.
automatically discredited.
Yeah.
While we're at it, can I change subjects for
Wait,
just a
wait.
minute?
So,
But what
so
if you say? What if you
just
say
using
something
the
like?
N-word or the A-word, both of
If
those
you say
words
the
not
A
just
word
discredit you?
or the N word and something happened to you, automatically the A word or N word is innocent.
Absolutely.
Period.
But what
Gotcha.
if you say something like, that C word spread a worldwide deadly disease? Nothing. Can we? I know.
You want to say the word? Because I'm a little lost.
No. I won't say it. But
All
think about who spread a deadly worldwide disease recently.
Oh, CH word.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, are we wrong for that? Because it's truth.
Yeah,
Is
but
it?
That's where it came from. Wuhan, China.
You can find the origins of it, but does that mean that they willfully spread it?
I'm just saying
Like-
they spread it. I
like,
didn't say
if I-
willfully.
if
I
I
just
had-
said it came out of Wuhan.
Then,
didn't say
no.
willfully.
That's not what you said. Now you just said what the truth is. It came out of Wuhan. That's where we found the origination of it. Absolutely.
What if I
the
say?
first thing you said was, "What if I just said the C word spread the disease?" That's not the same
Yeah,
thing.
it spread out of Wuhan. But what
That's
we're
not the
see,
same
you're
thing.
getting off point because you are a guy who says
Logic and facts, I
aliens.
know.
Yeah, you say
You
the
say
A word.
aliens.
I absolutely do. And
Wow.
until those
Wow.
aliens,
Whoa!
Until
And
now we're
admits to it.
canceled. Now we're
Wholeheartedly
canceled.
admits to
This
it
is
right on
crazy.
front, right in public forum.
until those aliens come forward and try
Wow.
That's right.
Whoa, whoa.
That's right.
Dude,
Hold on.
That's
See,
not cool,
now you stepping
man.
out of your lane once again. So I might have to
Smack
smack
that
that ass.
Well, I mean, if Lil Bow Wow's not for it, then maybe I got to reconsider my
Yeah, you do
position.
need to reconsider.
Listen, all I'm saying
right?
is I think Demi Lovato leading the charge in extraterrestrial rights is a beautiful thing.
She's
Yeah.
the perfect person
And I
to
stand
lead
behind
the
it.
rights in this
I stand behind
particular
it. I
position.
stand
Yeah,
behind it.
Demi Lovato for sure is really doing God's work.
I don't even know what Demi Lovato did that we know who she is for.
She
She's a
got
singer.
some songs, man.
She got a couple of
Don't
hits,
worry
and she
about it,
was
dude.
she on American Idol or one of those for a
She
little
did
while?
some stuff, man, and really it all pales in comparison to what she's doing right now
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
extraterrestrials.
for real.
So she finally found her
niche.
lane. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that you had something else mid-sentence.
It was really going to go in a totally different direction, and I'm second guessing it.
Nah, go for it.
All right, so I was just thinking
Because
that
it's either that or pumpkin cannolis.
statutory rape, right? So I was just thinking about
Sweet, let's get it.
All right, so I'm just thinking, if I'm at a bar, right?
Yeah.
And there's a 17-year-old girl at the bar,
Yeah.
right? And I finger blast her in the unisex bathroom, right?
Yeah.
But she's at a bar where everyone's getting
Supposed
carded,
to be 21,
right?
yeah.
So if I get in trouble for that, which I'm not saying I shouldn't get in trouble for that, but shouldn't also
The bar?
Yeah, the
I
doorman.
think they probably might.
I think the doorman should get in trouble for that.
There
I think they
have
probably
been
would.
cases like that, and the person accused has won those cases in a lot of circumstance because the expectation
Right.
is, because of the situation, the expectation is that everyone is of age, and therefore in that scenario you're not really expected to double check that sort of thing,
Right.
because you needed to be checked to get in the first place.
So
and they've won those cases.
Let me go a step further now.
Hold the thought, because I want to say what's up to Louis G. Just stepped in the building.
He's a good man, actually.
It really
So
is.
let me take it a step further and say, if you got into the club with a fake ID,
Yeah.
and let's just say you're 17,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons,
For argument's purpose.
Yes.
Correct.
you should now have to be 21 that night.
Like
Because-
you have to. Okay.
Accept responsibility for being 21.
Okay, I
because
think-
you've shown yourself, you identified as a person that is 21.
Yeah, and
What
I
is-
think that I'm
what
gonna
is-
I'm gonna
what
take
does
it one
that
step
entail?
further. I'm gonna
That
take
you
it
can
one
drink
step
at a bar
further and
and
bring
get
it.
sex with me.
Make this toxically masculine. Okay.
Take it there, man. That's what I wanted.
That's
to
what
No
I'm
one
about
does
to
it better
do.
than you.
Is that I think that should that be the case, right? You present a fake ID at the door. So any issues that arise, you should be dealt with as a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
I think that if you are a male,
Yeah.
then that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Right? Any situation you get into as a male, presenting yourself as a 21-year-old, you wanted these problems. So now you get into a bar fight, you crack somebody with a bottle,
Charged
they
as an
die.
adult.
Now you're charged as an adult.
I'm with that
100%,
100%. Yeah.
Should you be a female,
Uh-huh.
right? You're presenting yourself as 21.
Mm-hmm.
You go and get molested, God forbid, in the bathroom or taken advantage of in some situation.
Well, maybe not taking advantage of. Just
No,
say
you-
you willingly
right,
got
Okay,
finger
willingly.
blasted.
Yeah. Because
I-
taking advantage of is taking advantage of regardless
Yeah,
of your
100%.
age.
Yeah,
Well, I hate to be the guy to say this,
But you will be.
but I'm going to say it, is that I think that they should not be treated as 21 because we know that women and men function differently, right? I think overall, women, this is how I've learned the world to be, right? Women's function comes out of their emotion, whereas men's comes out of our logic or what we see in front of us. I'm not saying either one is right or either one is wrong.
Right.
It's just the
That's
core of
that's
our
the breakdown
being.
you say.
Yeah, it's just the core of how we are, right? So,
Okay.
as a 17-year-old girl functioning off emotion, I think that you have to be treated as such, a 17-year-old girl who's functioning off her emotion and not off of logic. Whereas a 17-year-old boy, you know, you're old enough to know that you're doing something dumb and you need to be slapped on the wrist as if you're old enough that you're doing something dumb.
Not in this scenario. So I like what you're saying, especially about the male part.
I know.
And I agree. Like anything that happens once you've done this, you're on the hook like any other adult
Yeah.
would be. I think it should be in this scenario the same for the women, only because to do this, what you're describing, took a whole bunch of forethought,
yeah.
right? And that's the problem, because the forethought overrides emotion, right? Like you have to plan something out. You generally can't plan something out with emotion. I mean, it can be a driving factor, but there has to be, I need to find this guy, I need to take this picture, I need to do this and this so I can have my fake ID. So that forethought to me overrides the idea that women are more emotionally driven and should be treated differently in certain circumstances.
I understand the concept and the argument of both sides.
They deserve equal pay. Right. Yeah.
I understand the argument on either side. I just think that I just think taking a 17-year-old girl and looking at her as such, it's like you're not a 17-year-old boy's not a fully formed, functioning human being either.
Don't women mature faster than men, though?
They do, but I mean,
But also, a
I mean, them
17-year-old
tits
is
be
17-year-old.
mature, you know what I'm saying?
can-
No, we're not
We-
doing that on
All right.
while people are watching.
All right, that's
All
fine.
right.
I'll do it.
why not?
Because I'm not talking about 17-year-old tits. I just won't do it.
We don't just say whatever we want.
No,
We have certain things that we have limits on.
I do.
listen, I don't
respect
I don't
Sean, though.
I don't discuss underage breasts ever.
That's a smart move.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm just saying they there.
Well, yeah, no, I'm with you. And actually there is some thought to the idea that, like, if you're 26 and you look at a 17-year-old girl, there's cues that you should be aware of that make you suspect of what's going on.
Yeah.
But if you're in a bar and you've been drinking, you know, sometimes it's hard to be suspect. And you're like, hey, I'm in a place where everyone is of age. This person looks younger, but that happens sometimes. So be it. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we had spoke about. I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, where I was hyper aware of statutory rape being a real thing.
Right.
And walked the tightrope as such, and if it seemed as though there was something shady or fishy, we were out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Had nothing. I want nothing to do with any. If you look like you might be 17, I don't know. I don't want to see an ID or nothing. Now, also, if she shows a guy her ID, if a guy says, "Let me see your ID," and he looks at it and it says she's 21, he says, "Well, fuck it, come on home with me."
That's on her.
Then it kind of has to fall on her. But also,
100%.
I feel bad for her. I feel sorry for her mother.
Why? She did that to herself. Like, that's not...
Because she's dumb.
Okay. Well, that's not wrong, but sure.
It's just dumb. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Listen, this day in history is major.
Oh, okay.
Talk about it.
10/18, what year?
10/18, 20... I could look back to it, but I believe it was 2012.
2012, okay.
Maybe...
Is this when the universe ended?
Possibly 2013.
Okay.
I was a younger man.
This is when the Mayan calendar ran out?
I was, in 2013, was 7 years ago? 8 years ago, making me 26 or 27 years old.
Okay.
All right, I don't want to do the full math.
You don't have to.
It's too hard right now.
Yeah, you don't have a calculator in front of you.
And at that point, up to that point, I had been a man stuck inside of the justice system since I was 13 or 14. We're talking a decade plus that I had been on paperwork. Yeah, on paperwork in one form or another, whether I'm on probation, in the joint, in a program, on the run, warrants, whatever it was, the court had some pull over my life.
Right.
At that time, I was on drug court and on the run from drug court, right? Hadn't showed up in quite some time, and they were looking to smoke me, right? They wanted to reinstate my drug court for another 5 years or send me to the joint for like 5 years.
You knew this for a fact, or you were speculating?
I was speculating.
Okay.
Or it's possible that I knew it for a fact.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't remember the time, right? So I couldn't get my life together, right? Because I was trying. I had come home from doing a stretch. I was on drug court. I was like slipping up with shit like going to the bar and having a couple drinks, or, you know what I mean? Nothing that was really life altering. Maybe I didn't have a job on the books to show them paperwork. So I'm like, yo, fuck these guys. The thinking of 26 years had gotten the best of me at that point, and I was like, man, fuck them. I'm not dealing with them. I'm not going to drug court. They can catch me when they can. Maybe I'll take it to fucking Cuba. I've really had pretty serious thoughts of going to Cuba at one point.
Sure.
I brought this to my parents, who are solidly middle class, right?
Okay.
And I said, look, this is killing me. I can't even get a chance at life because I can't get started here. Every time I fucking sneeze, I'm locked up again.
Right.
They said, well, let's see what we can do about talking to a lawyer. We'll pay for a lawyer for you. I'm like, and my first response is like, no, I don't want you to pay for a lawyer because I don't want to owe.
Now you're going to be on the hook.
Yeah, I don't want
to
to owe you thousands of dollars.
Remember when we saved your life, Sean?
Yeah.
All right, enough.
So they've convinced me to, I think they probably said, like, look, we're going to go talk to a lawyer and you don't have to pay us anything. How about that? And I agreed to it at that point. We go talk to a lawyer. Sit down. I give him the rundown. Now, this lawyer happens to be a gentleman who started the Camden County Drug Court, who was a part of the task force or the team that created drug court.
Okay.
So he's hearing my story and he's appalled, right? He's like, this is not what this was started for, right? Like, because you're a low-level minor offender and you've been caught up in the system for years upon years for having 2 bags of smack, right? You've given, and at that point, I had given 36 months of my life behind the walls, whether it was a program or jail, right, to drug court. I'd done time before that. I never did any time after that, but I've done time before that wasn't drug court associated, but there was 36 months that was given to drug court on sanctions and the like, right? My original charge was to do 3 years flat, which means that in reality I would have done like 12 months with like good time and an early release and shit like that. So now I've done 36 months. This lawyer was appalled. He said, I will absolutely represent you, and we're going to get you off with time served. I don't believe him, of course, right? Because I've been in the system and I've seen them. Their whole thing is to try and smoke who's ever in front of them. There's no interest in helping somebody.
Right.
Drug court, they kind of put the guys on that they're interested in helping somebody, but it's just another way for them to smoke you and keep you in the system. We go to court that day, October 18th, and the night before, I wrote Salute off of the Alleyway Admiral mixtape, one of my biggest hits to date. The people love it.
They absolutely do.
Yeah. And I was nervous, super nervous this day, right? Because I'm like, they could wind up locking me up right here on the spot, you know? And
you're pretty much submitting to either bad or worse. Like there's not an upside outcome for you at this point.
Yeah. So I'm shook, and we go to court, and I'm thinking, they tell you there's an old adage that is hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Right.
Especially in the justice system. When you're locked up, they say that all the time, right?
Right.
Hope for peace, but prepare for war. So I wore 2 pairs of boxers,
Prepare
2
for
pairs
war.
of socks, 2 wife beaters, because I was ready. Should I have to go into the joint, I needed to have, my extra.
You get your undies.
Yeah, my extra panties. And we go into court, and this fucking lawyer just smokes him, right? Goes on a tirade about how he's appalled that the drug court system has come to this and has failed somebody like this horribly, that, this guy should have only been doing X, Y, and Z time, and he's been railroaded into all this extra time. And there is no possible reason that the drug court program should have their hands on him still, or that anybody else should be dealing with this kind of drug court. There's no help here when this guy can't get his life started. They take a little break to deliberate. The judge, I guess, talks to the fucking prosecutor or whoever he talks to. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like waiting to hear, like, the judge maybe be pissed off that the fucking lawyer's talking filthy to him.
Like, how dare you come in here and question my
Right,
system?
right. But apparently this lawyer had some serious juice, right?
Right.
So the judge goes through on the count of X, Y, and Z, the defendant is guilty. And I'm like, oh, man.
All that for nothing.
Right. I hereby sentence him to 365 days of however they word it, right? New Jersey Department of Corrections, or to remand him for 365 days. He's now released on time served.
Okay. On
So
your own recognizance.
yeah. So that 364 was accredited to the other
time
36
served.
months. Right,
Yeah.
right. And I walked out of there a free man, and have not since been under the thumb of the New Jersey Department of Justice in any factor.
Well, give yourself a round of applause for that.
I will do that.
It is a big deal.
So,
I know we don't like to celebrate people making life achievements, but
what we're celebrating.
Hold that one for a second. Enjoy it.
What we're celebrating is not me not being in jail. We're celebrating beating the system on that day.
You didn't beat the system. You had the system applied appropriately. There's a difference, and we should distinguish. And like the lawyer who was willing to get in front of the judge was explaining, this is not what this was set up to do. This was not set up to put you in the hole and keep you in the hole. This was set up in the hopes that one experience would be enough to rehabilitate you. But as we've talked about a million other times, the problem is the end date of the rehabilitation, they kind of just wash their hands of you, and it's like, good luck, God bless. But meanwhile, you're a 13, 14-year-old kid who knows nothing about nothing. You don't probably even really totally comprehend why you were in trouble in the first place. I was just a kid having fun. I don't understand what happened. And now you're expected to not only have processed all of that information, but gotten better about it. And it's a ridiculous fucking notion all the way through.
Yeah, but how many times does that never happen? I mean, it always seems to go the other way with things. So he did beat the system, the flawed system, appropriate way.
No, he beat the flaw. Yeah,
you're right. The system was applied correctly that day. The system was applied correctly that day.
You're just not accustomed to it.
However, 99 times out of 100, the system is not applied in your favor, and especially in a city, in a county court like Camden, where it's underprivileged, underserved Black and Puerto Rican kids who are under the poverty line. And don't have the money to go buy a lawyer who can go in there and kick ass, right?
They got to do the public defender deal.
So there's, for every story of mine where I did beat the system that day, there's 99 stories where somebody, did 3 months and should have walked away, but wound up going to do 5 more years in that
Absolutely.
point. But, the celebration is beating the system at their own game.
Right.
Yeah, but the system was beating you for a little while before that.
The system kicked my ass, man.
Yeah. It's a push at the moment.
But also,
you got to find a way to beat the system one more time so you can have the upper hand.
Yeah, but also, we're tied 1-1. But also at the same time, without me getting my ass kicked by the system, you wouldn't see intellectual Wintertime Cove looking like a white Malcolm X out here today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this, as much as bad as it sounds to tell a normal civilian, and I usually don't, right? But the jail system has built me. And like what turned me into a man more than anything else was having to go into jail and stand on my own 2 feet with nobody to back me up, right? Like I had this discussion with Galvon today, right? And he was saying something about, something about somebody backing you up. And I said, what you don't understand, my friend, is that I've been accustomed to being able to live with nobody backing me up and knowing that I'm the only guy who has to fucking deal with what I do.
Right.
And I think because of that, I had to learn that the hard way. Maybe some people learn it the easy way. Maybe some people never have to learn it.
Right.
But I had to learn that through fucking fire and brimstone. And because of that, I'm able to be what I am today and build the things that I build and create what I create. And,
like this podcast.
Or 7-1.
Or a deck.
Or 7-1 re-education camp.
Or loud porn.
Yeah, exactly. So beating the system, even though they kicked my ass for a long time,
you won in the end.
I flourished in the end.
They won the battles, you won the war.
It's interesting to think maybe without the system being involved in my life, would I be what I am? Would I be better off? Would I be worse off?
Well, that part is...
It will never be known.
We can have a debate, but the first part, we can say no, absolutely not.
Would I be better off without the system?
No. Would you be the same? No.
Yeah,
would you be better or worse?
Better
I don't
or worse.
Know. That we can't figure out.
I don't know either.
Right.
That's what's cool about life experience. You know what I mean? Is sometimes like the difficult times is where you grow the most out of. You know what I mean?
And and regardless of whatever happens, that's who you are while you're here. And if any one of those things changes even a little bit, you're not who you are.
Changes your whole
course.
Not
here.
Yeah.
Something I thought I lost sight of, and I've just kind of gotten a little bit of clarity of it recently, is just about, like, I always was a big proponent of everything happens for a reason, good or bad.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you lose sight of it when it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? And that you don't get it. And I think, like, I just kind of was starting to get that recently again, where I was like, what the fuck happened to me? Like, what happened where I stopped thinking that was... Like, that used to give me solace, you know what I mean?
That it all happens for a reason.
Yeah,
so when you're going through a rough time, you can say, like, this sucks right now, but I know that on the other side of this, there's a fucking reason for it. I got to learn
something from this, and then I go move on.
I got a lesson to learn.
Yeah. Like, just going back, the last time I'll ever talk about it on this podcast, okay?
Oh,
I promise
he's going to bring her up, isn't he?
I promise you
he's
it
gonna
is.
bring
I
her
promise you it is. I promise you it is.
I want it to be, I'll tell you what. No, listen, we're going to let you talk about it, but I want it to be the last time that you talk about it ever.
Okay.
Put it out in the
Go ahead. Let's get it out of you. Let's get it out.
So, and it goes back to things that you've said to me, numerous other people have said to me over and over and over again, and whatever, and it just takes a while for it to click until you start to actually feel it and see it for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing as you just said, and as you were saying it, it just makes me want to bring it up with about, would you be a better person or a worse person without the system inflecting on your life?
Right.
And it's a very different thing, obviously, but
What we're talking about, because you haven't said it,
No, I will.
is your okay.
Yeah, the relationship I had with my ex that completely just kind of made me feel like shit for like the last like 10 months. But in those 10 months, did I get my shit together? Did I get a job back that I really liked? Did I not feel better, look better, act better, think better, and try harder to do the things that I was supposed to do? Like the relationship ended. Yeah, it sucks. There was a lot of things that are inside of my life that are reminiscent of her and all those other things. But that's not the end all be all to everything. And like you said literally last week, looking back is never going to have you moving forward. So it's like, and I just think like I would still be overweight. I would still be, depressed. I would still, not to say that I just feel better recently.
As you should.
And all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't be back at this job. I wouldn't be, having confidence, building experiences that are changing the way that I think. I wouldn't have had time by myself to try to get to know myself a little bit better and realize the way that I tick and work. So, yeah, that's really all I'm even going to touch on. I'm not going to get into any specifics, but the reality is that I'm starting to now notice that all of that shit, it was necessary, and I needed to feel it, and I needed to flow through me, and I needed it to, and maybe it'll circle back around, but I don't think it's going to. I knew for the last at least 8 months out of this 10 that the coffin was closed. And it's now that I got the nail in my hand and the hammer in my hand that I'm ready to put nails in it.
Bang
or
it
I'm
home,
ready to,
Daddy.
Where I'm ready to like really just, and step over it, you know what I mean? And be like, okay, and I'm not saying I'm over it, but I just feel better. And I think that there's a lot of things that I should be really proud of myself for and really happy to have accomplished. And I really wasn't feeling that way because I was holding something in my past instead of stepping forward. It goes back to another thing too, where I don't have faith. Like we talked about this on this podcast before, where, and I mean, faith is in religion where, I, not to say that when we die it's just black, but I like to think that it is because it gives my life more meaning. And if that's the case, then what the fuck, looking back is even like double stupid. You know what I mean? Because it's like you don't
got the time to do that.
You don't have the time to be doing that shit. It's all about your every single day and your every single moment. And holding on to old moments is just totally depriving you from the life experience, which is absolute nonsense.
All right.
So, yeah, apologies for being someone held down, but I do feel a little bit better about life in general.
I'm looking for the church button, but
we don't have
church.
We need the Snoop church, right?
Bring them to church. Yeah, no, I agree, Biz. I think you got your ass kicked in that relationship to be the Bizzler that we see today, who's fucking fit and eating healthy and being the best dad you could be and doing a podcast and fucking killing the chimney game.
I got the LA Fitness membership too today.
All right, fantastic. Yeah. Did you go today?
I didn't go today because I was doing this.
All right, let's get there tomorrow.
I want to get there tomorrow.
And now that you're ready to put the nail in the coffin, I know where there's a little girl who will appreciate those sneakers you're wearing out there at the Somerton Wawa.
Okay, so can I touch on this?
I'd love you to tell me about it.
All right, so we talked about it on Monday about how there was a guy in the line or whatever that opened up her drink or whatever the case may be.
A dork with his nails painted and a skirt on.
100%. Thank you for paying attention. The next day was Tuesday. Let me think about this. So Tuesday there was Tuesday, Tuesdays, I'm drawing a blank real quick.
The days matter less than the actions.
No, but I'm trying to paint the story, okay? Because you're good at the story stuff. I'm more of like an all-over-the-place kind of guy, and I'm trying to get a story going here.
Okay.
So let's just say Tuesday there was a little bit of small talk, okay? A little bit of like looking in the eyes, a little bit more of me just trying not to get out of there.
A little banter.
Tuesday night.
Can you give us maybe a little taste of the banter?
No, it wasn't a lot of banter. It was more so like a
Was
little,
it a how you feel?
A little bit of a smile and a little bit of a what? No small talk really, just
little body language.
A little conversation, a little like whatever. I don't know exactly what was said. Some warmth.
A little feel.
More than normal.
Yeah.
And this is going back to like the prior week, me saying about I was getting a hey instead of a hi and all the stuff that was leading me to believe that there was maybe a little something there.
Yeah.
So whatever that was, Tuesday night, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be able to do this small talk thing. It's just not me.
Yeah.
I get the insight, and I understand that I want to rock with it, but it's not going to be something. I'm not a small talk guy unless I'm at work where I have to. You know what I mean? But So what I did
So you went
was-
in there and proposed.
No, so
Cut right to the chase. Listen, this
So-
is where this is headed one way or the other. Let's
Yeah.
just fucking get
You gonna
here.
marry me, or should I just walk
Am
out
I
of here
wasting my
right
time?
now?
well, I kind of yeah.
There's other Wawas around.
There's a degree of that's very true. So like I was just like, so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about her and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do and I'm like, I'm just gonna ask her out. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say, hey, do you want to go do something sometime? And then I realized that I'm probably gonna get nervous when I actually
Yeah.
go to do that and
Yeah.
I might not do it.
Yeah.
So my passive aggressive way around it was I wrote my number down on a piece of paper and I put it in my pocket.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now I wear the same jean shorts to work. Now I'm wearing jeans because it's cold out.
Yeah.
But I was wearing the same jean shorts to work for weeks. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I just put the number in my pocket and I said, if this moment applies at any
You're
point,
ready to
Here it is.
I'm ready to
right.
go.
This is where you need a business card,
Yes, it would work.
so you
I
can
used
like
to
look
have
mad
one.
official. Yeah.
used to have one.
DJ Noodle Dick.
Yeah, DJ.
Well, that's not Noodle Dick.
No.
Yeah.
Noodle Bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the case may be.
DJ Penicillin Eater or something.
Noodle Dick might actually give her false hopes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And for the positive. Anyway, so the next day, there's a Asian gentleman in front of me in line who's
Flirting with your girl?
No, older guy
Good,
who's
good,
like a
good.
mute. He's
Okay.
like, there's something wrong with him. Like she's trying to say like he paid for gas and he's just standing there. The transaction's over and he's just standing in my way.
Yeah.
So I kind of like I'm like looking at him. And she's looking at and she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like looking at this guy like, all right.
Let's go.
Keep it moving, buddy.
So I walk over and I kind of like butt him out in line a little bit because he's just standing there like
Trying
an
to
idiot.
save a hoe.
And now I'm joking about this dude who's like not paying
Perfect.
attention. And like, yeah, this is, I'm sorry you have to go through stuff like this, etc.
I like it.
She's laughing, she's smiling, giggling a little bit. There's a little bit of extra, whatever a case may be.
Yeah.
I grab my stuff. There's no bags at the Wawa. I grab my stuff and I leave my coffee on the counter. I had 2 seltzers and a keto snack mix in my thing. The coffee's left on the counter. I hear, yo. I turn around.
And you're like, this is it. This is my moment.
a little bit of
Start
that.
reaching in the pocket.
But it
Heart
also
starts beating a little faster.
it also caught me off guard, right?
Don't
So
fuck
I
this
turn
up, don't
around.
fuck this up,
I
don't
turn
fuck this
around,
up.
and she's going. You forgot your coffee. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I grab my coffee. She smiles, and then she says, "Bye." Right?
Yeah,
First time
yeah.
I got a bye.
Okay.
Right?
You got to give her like a no, that one's for you.
So I
and then
gave,
slide on out.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been kind of slick.
Yeah, it would have been. But was she gonna want a black Cuban roast? You know
Well,
what
she
I
could
mean?
have go.
You don't know what she
could doll-
drinks.
Coulda doll- I
She
got
could
it to
doll
the
it up
top,
how she
man.
wanted.
What's she gonna do?
She's
pour
a
some out?
hard-body Russian broad from
All right.
Somerset.
Somerset is not what I want.
She's putting vodka in it to cut the edge.
She might be. So whatever. So there's a little bit of a thing. There was more of a normal thing there.
Yeah,
I left
yeah,
my
yeah.
coffee there. Next day, go in the line,
Boom. Scene 3.
flirting on me a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah.
She's smiling at me. She's looking at me. I was looking down. She like put her head down, like to try to like get in my vision a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're talking about whatever, and I'm like, whatever, yada, yada, yada. We're talking about the bags are 25 cents. I was like, I don't want to accumulate the bags, whatever.
You're
We're
going
talking about
places.
stuff, right? We're talking at
Yeah.
least, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes, or I said, don't worry, I'm not going to leave my coffee this time. And she was like, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. She was like, oh, because it seemed like you wanted to leave your coffee. And I said, for like what? And she was like, I don't know, you
You know
tell
what would
me.
have been perfect?
Huh.
If you were like, I'm not going to leave my coffee this time. And she's like, you sure? You're like, no, but I'll leave this
Let's
phone
get-
number.
Or you
Hold
should
on.
have written your number on the
Whoa,
cup and left
whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa.
Ooh, that would have been
Can I
clever.
just tell my story?
I would have never thought of that in the moment, though.
All right.
Carry on. Sorry.
So
We're excited for you. You
I
can
know.
see we're on the edge of our
okay.
seats.
I'm
here,
We're helping.
okay?
I'm sorry. So so she says something about leaving the coffee, and are you sure? And I'm starting to get a little like, I'm like, you're flirt, like,
Like
in
you
my
breaking
head.
my balls here?
Now
Yeah.
I'm like looking at her in the face, like I'm trying to gauge why she's saying this. Like,
Yeah.
why are you
Why
saying?
are you being nice to me?
And I'm well, no. Here, my thing is like I'm not wearing this. I'm trying to get my coffee and get the fuck out of here. You guys know that I like her.
Yeah.
There's no way she knows that I like
Right.
her
Yeah,
because
you-
I'm
you
not
think she's
wearing
stupid?
it. No, well, I'm just saying I don't think.
Your approach. Look, your approach is giving you away, whether you realize it or not. Like, there's a bunch of people that come in that line and throw a fucking dollar at her and walk out
And
with a
keep it
cup.
pushing, right.
You slow roll it. You make sure to say hi every time. You accidentally left your coffee so you could say a little bit more.
No,
I
but
know,
I
I know
didn't.
you didn't.
All right, go ahead.
But I'm just saying this is on top of other things. Like you look to her like a person who is interested but doesn't have the guts just yet.
Yeah.
That's
You're working on
exactly
it.
how
Cute.
she's reading
Well, that's
it.
what's happening. Though.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So yeah, she's reading it. All
Yeah.
right, okay. So
Are you sure?
this time, I go and put. She says whatever about the coffee or whatever, and then I look at her. I go and put my card back in my wallet, and as I put my wallet back in my pocket,
You
I grab
felt
the
it.
number out.
Yeah.
And when I went to grab the coffee, I dropped the number there. and then I grabbed the coffee. I know how
Like
passive aggressive this
Like
is.
a
Yeah.
little, now
Yeah.
you see me, now you don't magic trick.
But I'm yeah.
A little
But I'm-
sleight of hand,
And what I wrote
sleight
on
of
the paper
hand,
was
or sleight of heart.
for whatever
That's right.
reason, I wrote Corey, and in parentheses, I wrote Wawa. Like she wouldn't realize that I was the person that gave it to her. Oh my God, I'm such a noodle. So I drop it there. I grab the
and
coffee.
didn't say anything about
Didn't
dropping.
say anything about it. I'm making eye contact with her when I grab the coffee.
Okay.
Drop the number, grab the coffee, leave. 20 minutes later, I'm pulling into work, and she just texts me LOL. Right?
Beautiful.
So it worked. So since that day, which was a Thursday,
You've talked to her
She
every
hasn't
day.
been back to work since.
no, she didn't work on Friday. Today was the first day I saw her again since we've had an incredible
exchange.
amount of correspondence.
Yeah.
Texting
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And one on
Oh, all
one
right.
phone call. And talks about all good things. Then on Friday, this is what I deserve.
Hold on.
Oh, you get the double.
Yeah, I'll give you double because you worked it the way that you worked it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but you also grabbed your nuts and you went and went after something that you wanted.
Yeah.
You did it your style until the important part, and then you did it right. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
So you see her today. How was that?
It was good. There was correspondence. There was nice stuff. She didn't. There was like a day where she didn't text. There was like, not a day. It was like 8 hours where she didn't text me back.
Yeah.
And then she said something like, she made a comment about how I didn't call her back. She called me Sunday morning and I didn't call her back.
Yeah.
So she said something like, and you didn't even call me back. You're kind of being an ass.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you didn't text me for 8 hours. It was the longest day of my life.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Cute.
giggling and good
Cutesy.
stuff.
Cute,
So
cute.
in that 8 hours, are you the kind of person who, for that entire 8 hours, you're just like, fuck it, it's over.
Well,
I must
here-
have
Yeah,
fucked
of
something
course
up.
yes,
he
and
is.
you're looking
Of
for
course
every
he is.
single
You
text.
know I
What
am.
the fuck did I
Absolutely,
say?
No,
absolutely
here's
is.
what I said. Okay, so on Friday, I worked on her street. I don't know. I know where she lives roughly from text messages.
From following
Yeah.
her. Oh, from
She
text
lives
messages.
at this
Okay.
intersection.
From
And
the
then
private eye that you hired.
She
Yeah.
said she lived at this intersection.
Right,
The
right, right.
intersection of this word and this word, right?
Right.
So then
Popping in Maine.
so I knew that I was close when I was working this job, but I was Russian. It was a Saturday. I had a birthday party to
I
get
thought
to.
she's
with my daughter.
Russian.
Yeah,
She is Russian
Okay.
and Ukrainian and Polish.
Okay.
he missed it.
Love a good Polak.
Yeah. No, I got it. I caught it. I was just being deliberate. And this is a serious thing in my life going on right now. So Friday, I'm working on her block, 2 blocks away from where she lives. I'm working on her street.
Yes.
So she sends me a picture of my van. She's like, I'm going to fucking freak out if this is you on my street right now. I don't see it because my work is very fast
Yeah.
paced.
Yeah,
so
you're
I don't
working.
see it for
You're
an hour
working,
later.
baby. Yeah.
And I text her. I said, holy shit. She's like, yeah, that was me. I was like, if you ever see that van, it's me. I'm
Yeah.
not often in the Northeast. We work the entire Lower Bucks, Montgomery, and
Right.
Northeast Philly.
Right.
So it was just like, to me, in my head, because I'm a homosexual, I was like, oh, that's like kismet. There's a sign there. Because
Yeah.
I watched too much Oprah when I was a kid. So I texted her. What I texted her back was something gay, and then I wrote, that's the universe conspiring in our favor. Then nothing for 8 hours.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm like,
you
oh
fucked
my
it
God.
up. You fucked
You
it
pushed
all
so
the way
hard
up.
so fast.
You said the universe,
You made a
dude?
That's
joke.
what I'm saying.
What
You
are
made
you
it
doing?
spiritual, cuz?
No, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, no,
she don't know me. She don't know me.
And she's thinking like, oh, whoa, he's going
I
spiritual
thought this
on
was
me?
just a fun little thing
Yeah, I
we were doing
thought
over
we were
text.
just flirting. Now all of a
Now the
sudden,
whole universe is
he's
working
putting the
against us?
universe on my shoulders.
But hold
this
on.
is too much.
But
I
hold
can't
on.
talk to him anymore.
Before this, she kind of crossed the bounds with me a little bit because
Okay.
she texted me and she said, I don't know if these coffee mornings are going to cut it for too much longer. She's like, I just want to
Yeah.
rub my hand through your head and touch your face.
Yeah, she wants you to bang her.
yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
yeah.
Why?
It went.
What? And you didn't. And at that point, you didn't think to say like, "Hey, why don't you come over tonight?"
He was looking for something more
Well,
obvious.
no. Here's the thing. So she has 2 kids, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
all
she
right.
has 2. I grew up in a life where my mom was always fucking somebody and my dad was always fucking somebody.
Right.
My mom, I lived with, whatever. Every other weekend I saw my dad.
Okay.
Every other weekend he had a new John over on Saturday night. And every other week that I was with my mom, there was some new guy there.
Right.
So I have a complex with introducing my kid
Right.
to
Right.
people. Even if it's just on a friendly basis, we're out at a park, whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. It just rubs me the wrong way, so I stay away from it. And I think that's appropriate.
That's fine.
And for the same on the other side, too.
Especially-
I don't want to get to know your kids either.
Yeah, no, it's especially beautiful because last week you traumatized your daughter for
Right.
the next 10 years
Yeah.
of her life.
She called me on the way here. She was watching Us with her brother.
Okay. I don't know what
I'm
Us
not,
is.
I don't know,
It's a
some
horror movie.
scary movie.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's not some, the trauma that
It's
I
not all
bring to
your
my
fault.
daughter's life
Gotcha.
is nothing compared to
Other
this
people are
fucking-
doing it too, so it's fine.
Yeah,
with you
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
No, it's just not even
To
on
add
the
a
level.
little bit, no big deal.
It's
Yeah.
just someone physically attacked her while she was on a hayride. It's the same as a movie.
She's raised by an incompetent cunt that decides to fucking homeschool her when she can't even say words correctly. The other day, she's calling it an Ambler Alert. She says supposedly.
But
Well, maybe
kinda
that's the
cute.
area that it was happening.
No, this fucking dumb, stupid, simple
So
bitch.
listen, so the Russian Somerset John
Somerton.
wants to bang you,
Yeah.
and you say,
The universe is conspiring.
No. All right. So anyway. So
the universe conspires. You don't talk to her. So where are we at now with this? What's
all good stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I just killed it with a line a second ago. Let me verbatim it.
So you're texting with your new girlfriend during the podcast?
No.
I'll allow it.
As-
Early on,
as I
I'll
can-
allow it.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're-
If Joe Carter says it's a go, it's a go.
it's a go.
Well, yeah.
You got to give him a
so
little room to breathe to get him off the old fucking shit for
yeah,
now.
that's true.
I said stopping at the neighborhood Wawa for coffee just don't hit the same, right?
Yeah.
And she said, "Getting your fix in?" Question mark. I said, "You're my fix. This just coffee." You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? I liked it,
You should
dude.
work for Hallmark.
I think I should.
Well, but also here's the thing. Take her out to dinner tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I told her. She said her son has football practice. I told her, send me the schedule. Let me know when
Yeah,
he has football
give me what
practice,
the-
and we'll go get something.
Give
to
me
eat.
what day I can take you out,
Yeah.
Right.
and then you go, because you can't be in limbo too long.
No.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll
You've
see her
already
tomorrow.
actually, in
Yo,
reality,
There's
right?
not much time.
No,
I got
no.
my kids on the weekend. I had off Saturday. Oh, by the
I
way,
get it. No,
can
I understand
talk about
the
something
weekend.
else
The
in the
weekend,
middle?
yeah, the weekend with the kids, like that's a pass, right? But I think in other situations, should both of you not have kids, this 4 or 5 days is like maybe a little bit.
See, I don't
pushing
think
too
that
long.
4 or 5 days is that long of a period of time to be talking to someone that I otherwise wouldn't be.
What about the
talking to.
chat? How many days? Let's say Biz doesn't have kids, right? And this is just two single people
Yeah,
with
but
no
why
kids.
would we put the
How long-
caveats in?
how
It
long-
should be the real
Because
story.
I'm interested in what the chat has to say.
For a Biz and this girl to be just free to do whatever they want whenever they want.
Yeah.
The,
how
20
long?
24 hours from when she said, "I want to run my hands through your hair,"
I
would have been
concur.
the absolute fucking limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving it 2 days after that.
Okay.
You gotta, the heart grows fonder with time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, she was really fucking fond when she said she wanted to run her hand through your hair,
Isn't
and
that
you
nice,
should have said,
though?
"Let me allow that."
I love that.
Yeah. Come on and do it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Good news.
Come on through.
I just showered. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I told her I was gonna condition.
Oh, all right.
Well, there you go. 4 to 5 days
let it
max
sit
to
in there.
transition from convo to date.
Yeah. So it's been Thursday, Friday,
so that's
Saturday,
what-
Sunday, Monday.
So that's
I'm
what
at
we're
4
saying.
days.
We're at 4 or 5 days.
Tomorrow morning,
Let's-
because she didn't answer my text
get it
about
poppin'.
what's his schedule, tomorrow morning when I'm getting coffee, I'm going to say, when does your son have football games? Let's do something.
Yeah, just ask her what day
But I
can
want
we
to
go out.
say
Yeah,
it
yeah.
in person because she didn't answer my text.
I'm with
she didn't
you. I'm
acknowledge
with you.
that one.
I'm
So
with
are you off on any weekdays, or do you work all week?
I work, but she's talking from 6 to 8. He has football practice.
Right, but so this kid is obviously, your kids are all in school, right?
Yeah.
So there's
Well,
a
she
wi-
works at Monday through Thursday
Till when?
till 2 p.m.
Okay, so there's a window there from 2 p.m. till when she's got to take him to football, where you could possibly work out a lunch date, just something to be in her presence and it not be
Yeah,
while
to
she's
kick
in
it face to
uniform.
face.
Well, maybe,
and,
yeah.
and just sit with her for a little bit.
Yeah. I
How
agree.
long does it take to run your fingers through your hair?
No,
You don't got that much
Is
hair,
it naughty?
Daddy.
Like, is
15
she gonna get
minutes.
stuck in there? Or
No,
is it
I
just gonna coast?
conditioned it. I legit
all
conditioned
all right.
it.
You got the split ends taken
I might
care
even,
of?
oh, they're great. My
All right.
hair is beautiful. Pat.
Well, I am a proud dad.
Thank you, man.
You
Can
know.
I speak on something else too? that
Please,
made me
I would
feel
love
good?
you to.
So whatever it was, Saturday, my daughter went to a sleepover. I was trying to holler out on Saturday because
Slumber
I had
party.
first night that I was going to be without my kid, and I don't even know when that's ever going to happen again.
Could have
right?
called me.
I'm sorry. So I went on Facebook and I went to events and I looked at what was going on because I was just going to go home and watch Dynamite. Wrestling was on Saturday night, so I was like, I'm just going to watch Dynamite and fucking eat some ribs and go
Like
to
a
bed.
real fucking 30-year-old man.
Yeah, like
Yep.
a loser, like
Yeah.
like
Like a
an
family
adult
man.
father. Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
without a kid. But that's like I would have done that with my daughter there. Would watch wrestling. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So nothing would have changed really, except for my daughter would have been there. I would have felt better about my life anyway. So I look online and there's this pop punk emo thing happening at this place called Steam, which is right around the corner from my work. Not right around the corner from me, but whatever.
Okay.
So I go to this thing. I find out when I get there, it's like this memorial show for this dude Derek, who I loosely know. I've met him like once, but he was like in correlation.
He's a
with
good
all
man,
these
actually.
people.
God bless him.
So But my buddy Cody, who's a hardcore singer, is singing in this pop punk band. So he's doing like Green Day and Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance
Love Fall
and
Out
Sum
Boy.
41 and shit. Well, it was cool seeing him do it because he's usually like, "In your face," and he was like singing Green Day. And
How's
shit.
the food at Steam?
Steam's good.
That's what I hear in the chat.
Yeah.
Louis G says Steam has great food.
They do have great food. I kind of know one of the owners there. There's like whatever. So whatever the case may be. But
This
I got
is in the
there.
Northeast?
No, this is in Southampton.
Okay, all right. Very well.
I'm getting crazy love there from dudes and chicks.
Yeah,
alike.
you're the bull.
Well,
You be forgetting that you be the bull.
So now I already kind of felt.
Northeast superstar.
I already felt like I was kind of the bull because I had this female presence.
Yeah.
You know, talking about rubbing her fingers through my hair, etc. And then I go to this thing, and there's people that I haven't seen in a while. Also, Saturday.
You're feeling yourself, which is why you came to the podcast iced out with your chain hanging.
Yeah,
tonight.
dude, this is fucking dead elephant tusk,
icy.
bro. I love elephants, so I don't know why I'm wearing it, but it's ivory, so it's one of the few things I have worth anything. So
You
I
can't
wore it.
carry on. That
Yeah.
joke's gonna miss.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's okay. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
So anyway, so let me backtrack a little bit. Saturday, I went to my buddy Mark, who I'm in Dumb Ugly with, son's birthday party, and family members of the Ciccone family were bigging me up about how great I looked, like didn't recognize me.
Yeah.
Friends of Mark and family members of Mark were like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, what the fuck?" I was wearing a tight V-neck. I was doing stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you got a real Tom Hardy vibe.
I was really, I look good. Like, I honestly, I don't look in the mirror often and be like, holy, like this, I'd fuck the guy. You know what I mean? It's a
That's what I
fuckable
thought when
guy.
I opened the side door today
Thank
when you
man.
were here.
I thought you thought I was going to rob you because I had
Well,
the big
first I
fitted
didn't
on.
know who you were.
Yeah, because
You
the
know,
big fitted.
you're looking so damn handsome.
Yeah.
And with the fitted and the ice on, I'm like,
Little
who is this handsome son of a bitch trying to rob
No,
my
I'm
house?
I'm starting to get rid of the fat guy clothes in the thing, and I'm changing up the thing, man. I'm
Got
starting to
some
feel
new
good
sneaks.
about
You're
myself.
doing it.
I
Yeah.
got new sneaks.
This
dude.
is all coming together now.
It's
We
starting to
told
come
you
together.
needed. We just told. Wait till
gym
you get the
membership.
snapper.
Just need a little push.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
We
You
told
guys are
you
part of
needed
the
a
push.
babe to talk to you.
Yeah, I know. That's why when you were sending me the thing the other day, I said, this is all well and good, but vagina is going to be the end-all, be-all to how this ends up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Don't put that kind of weight on it.
She's going to
Just
put
put
that
your
weight
dick in
on
something,
me. You
though.
know
I
what
see
I'm
what you're
saying?
saying,
God
yeah.
damn.
But you said
This
she's a
girl,
small girl.
too,
She
man.
got weight though.
She do, man. Like, if we were in the woods and a motherfucking, like, let's just say, like, some kind of, like, big elk came up to us and shit. Maybe
you
not
think
an
she
elk.
could defend you?
No, I'm
would
saying.
feel safe
all right, hold on.
around
Let me take it around. Say there's some angry rabid deer, right?
Okay,
Like
all
two
right.
bucks. There's
Yeah.
2 bucks, and we're walking down like the railroad tracks, and these 2 bucks are like, "Yo, my baby's over here. I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yeah.
I wouldn't automatically assume in this situation with this woman that I would have to beat up both bucks.
She would probably
I would
handle one of the
automatically assume that we're both gonna take care of a buck.
bucks. Yeah.
She's
okay.
the type that could throw a small farm animal over a fence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So this is a real kind of a very. You're starting out with equality here.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something. It's very different than all the stuff. But back to your points from prior episodes, whatever, about looking for a woman that's built like a woman. This is a woman with 2 kids that's built like a woman, not like
Yeah.
a frail little kid type
Right.
deal.
Right.
Anyway, so I get the confidence built because it is John. I get the confidence built again because I go to this birthday party where everyone's like, "Damn, bro, like what the fuck?" Like people
looking
that
all fly and
some dudes.
shit?
I
Yeah.
mean, Mark got cool friends. They're like, "Damn, bro, you look good." Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And his mom, who's like, kind of an ass, was also just like, "Man, you." I was like, I didn't even recognize you, which is like good. Like I don't want you to recognize me.
Right.
You know
That was
what I
the
mean?
plan with this mask.
And then Saturday night, back to where I was going.
So
I go to
Steve,
this.
you're
I go to this
popping.
pop punk
Everybody's
thing.
yeah.
People
Everybody's
are on my
chatting you
top.
up. Yeah.
That a couple girls talked to me, and this one girl that I went to middle school and high school with, who I always thought was cute or whatever, she was ready to fucking totally ruin her like 6-year marriage.
Yeah.
And she was like, she was like biting her lip, like, and she was like, she had me go order her a drink and all this stuff or whatever. Now I knew nothing was gonna happen there because I'm not gonna step on her whole entire life.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it could have.
Yes.
And that the shine is really all you need anyway.
The feel.
Yeah.
The know that it could be a reality.
I've
is
always
enough.
called it a shine because I used to do it even when I felt better when I was in a relationship. I would do it because the relationship would get stale, and it wouldn't be like I'm trying to fuck this chick. It would just be like
Just to know that you could.
yeah,
Yeah.
or just to know that she's showing interest, or
Right.
just to know whatever.
I still got it.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really just to see you still got it. That's it. And And so whatever the case was, she made me feel really good about myself because she just couldn't get over it. Like
Yeah.
she just was like, "Holy shit!" She's like, "I've known you since sixth
Well,
grade."
look at you, you little
and she's
rabbit
like,
wrangler.
"You're fucking hot, dude." She's like, "You're hot," and she's like, we're at the bar, and she's like, "Why don't you talk to this chick?" And I'm looking at her. I'm like, "That chick's a fucking 10." He was like, "But yeah, but look at the fucking guys in here."
Yeah.
She's like, "You're like top 5 hottest guys in this fucking room," and I'm sitting there like, I never felt that way.
You're
I'm
top five hottest guys in this room too.
Thanks, man.
Top 3 maybe. Even.
I might even
That's
make
pushing
it.
it.
To top
Let's not blow his head
I
up
don't
too
know.
much.
Michael's up there, man. Yeah. So I don't know. So I felt that was all confidence building shit. And then Sunday morning she called me. I got nervous, so I didn't answer. I was also picking up my daughter. I was picking up my daughters at my mom's house, so I didn't want to because my mom might have been like yelling about Tom Hanks in the background or something. I just didn't want to put her back.
You don't want to go through that. You don't want to have to explain mom. Yeah.
Yeah, not.
I hear you.
I put her in my phone as Cue a mom.
Yeah.
Well,
this goes back to one of the things that we discussed, and now it's kind of the final piece of the puzzle. Is that like a few weeks ago, we were saying like, you're the man with the chimney, you're the man as a dad, you're the man on a mic, you're a man in a podcast, you're a man behind the turntables, you're a man when you're on your keto general shit, right?
Yeah.
And there was just this one piece missing. For whatever reason, you couldn't connect with being the man like to the fairer sex, and now that it's being blatantly rubbed in your face, you got no choice but to like attempt it, or not to attempt it, to like accept it, and then that piece now like fits to the whole thing that gives you that confidence to be like, oh, like across the board, I kind of am the man.
And here's the cute shit about this is that she recognized what company I worked for from the shirt that I was wearing enough to take a picture of my van. Here's the other thing. So Friday. Remember I said that she's like my height? I don't know if I touched on that.
You did.
But she felt tall and like intimidating. That's what it was. I think it was just an intimidation factor. When I walked in today to get my coffee, I felt big. Yeah. Like legit.
That was your ego talking.
Yeah.
Well,
Chest out,
It was
Daddy.
also my, once again, making a mountain out of a woman type deal where you do the unattainable
She's
thing.
5'3".
She looked so much. She didn't look 5'3", but
She
she
didn't reach
looked
the counter.
5'7".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's 5'8".
Okay.
But and maybe that was part of it, was her telling me how tall, because she was like, oh, you're taller than me, right? And I was like, I don't know, how tall are you? Because in my head, I'm looking at her right in the eyes.
Yeah.
So she's 5'10", 5'11" in my head.
Right.
But she's 5'8".
Right.
So now she tells me she's 5'8", and I walked in this morning. This is the first time I see her again since, all this talk. The last time I saw her was dropping the number, grabbing the coffee.
Yeah.
And I kind of walked out like, oh shit, like, okay, you know what I mean?
Here we go.
And then I get an LOL text, and I'm like, all right, bet, like, we're good. Now we're in, we're cooking.
Yeah.
Then talking to her, I realized that she's been about me the entire time I was
We've
about
been
her.
telling you that.
I'm
We've
just
been
saying
telling
that
that
you
from the
don't know
jump.
that. I didn't know that. There was
knew
no
it.
signs.
We
We
knew
didn't
it.
see anything in person, and we both knew what the fuck was happening.
Wow, I'm so clueless.
Well, you didn't want to see it. You wanted to be stuck on what you were stuck on.
Right.
At the time.
Maybe that's the case.
Yeah, and that's fine because
doing
we're
yourself a
moving on
disservice.
past it.
But I thought it was so cool. I just wanted to, because honestly, dude, I felt taller. Like, that's how, there was so much
Shoulders were
confidence.
back, you were feeling good
Yeah,
about
I
yourself.
That's how
probably
the world
was. I was
works.
probably standing upright, dude.
Yeah, that's
instead
how
of
the world
slouched
works,
like
Daddy.
a fucking loser.
Yep.
That's how the world works. Well,
that's
am.
huge, man. I love that about myself.
I am beyond glad to hear the strides that you're making in what we saw as the final lane to make some strides in, you know?
And now all that confidence from the Steam Pub, from the chick from fucking middle school, from the fucking family members who were kind of assholes that were giving me accolades and all that stuff, and it's all happening right in the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now, not only that, but I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, this guy ain't bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There she is.
Sometimes you need somebody else to tell you this guy ain't bad to believe it.
Yeah, something
Just a little
half pretty
extra
with
boost.
a vagina. You know what I mean? It helps. I don't know. And like I had like a couple little scenarios in the past. I had one really terrible rebound decision that kind of like soured my mouth, and it would, rebounds are never the healthiest thing. I don't think.
No.
And then the girl afterwards, who seemed too good to be true, and once again, I made her a mountain, and I fucking blew it because, first of all, I'm stuck on shit. I was newly sober to, like, fucking, raw dog in life, and I wasn't with it. I was fucking losing my shit. From day 9 to day 20 of my sobriety, I was just, like, a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to kill people. I know you know, but I'm just saying, like, it was an inopportune time for me to be trying to talk. Like, for her to talk to me then, that should have been something I took way slower.
Yeah. No, well, today you seem more,
A little peppier.
yeah, more Biz, more stable than you've seen.
I feel like Biz is back.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Biz is in the building, baby.
Yeah, I feel better.
And to be completely honest with you, right now, there's 5 people in the chat. One is Louis G, and the other 4 are babes who are looking at you
Waiting
on the
for Biz,
screen.
yeah.
So,
Indeed.
Biz, you hear it. You got to step up and beat the Somerton John to win over Biz's heart. But he's now open.
Yeah.
So slide in his DMs.
Slide in there.
Quit playing around and talk to him, baby doll.
You
I'm
don't
ready.
have much time left.
I'm feeling myself and I'm ready to mingle. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
We
so
done.
here's the other thing, right? Because we're getting an hour and a half in. We want to make sure we get to a weekly segment that we call Who's Your D-Block? And at some point, we're going to stop explaining why we call it Who's Your D-Block.
Because people are going to catch on.
But for right now, we will tell you that D-Block is 4 rappers. 3 of them are phenomenal. One of them is J Hood,
Yeah.
who's not a bad rapper. He ekes in.
But he's not quite D-Block.
But he's not as great as the other 3 in D-Block. So Who's Your D-Block? We pick a topic, and we tell you what our 3 favorite pieces of that topic are, and then give you one honorable mention, which is RJ Hood. Today's topic, Biz picked. So go ahead, Biz. Tell me what that topic may be.
Who's your D-Block? Stand-up comedians.
Now, you told me this hours upon hours ago, and I haven't thought of any of it yet. So as is
Well, you
common
know who's
practice
really good
here
at
at the
this?
gig.
We'll go to Payday.
Yeah, as is common practice here at the gig, Payday will go first, and I will make my way last.
So my chic, or no, sorry,
Whoa,
my kiss.
I might have got off on you.
My Jadakiss is Eddie Murphy, and he's got to be, in my opinion, because Saturday Night Live, then he dominated the '80s as far as comedy movies, and his stand-up.
Strictly stand-up.
Oh, you're just doing stand? Oh, see, no one told me that. But even his stand-up, still, I could still keep him there for stand-up.
Okay,
But
I agree.
overall, he's just a comedy monster. My number 2 is Chappelle, for pretty much the same reasons of Eddie Murphy. Like he handles all the media, and he can make you laugh in any format, and he's got some good shit to say. My third is Sam Kinnison, because
Fucking love Kinnison,
sometimes he overdoes his bit because his bit is high energy yelling.
But that first
But-
one where he's wearing the pea coat,
Listen.
bro, with the Jeff cap, it's some of the greatest comedy
It
of all
absolutely
time.
is. But sometimes he overdoes it. But when he drops gems, they're as good as it's gonna get.
Drop a gem on him.
And my who's the 4th guy? J Hood. My J Hood is John Mulaney. Just because I can sit there and listen to him tell stories, and I don't mind that he's on the stage, and he's not like. I'm never going to shut it off when he's on. I'm going to listen to what he has to say, and I'm going to laugh every now and again.
Yeah,
and it's
I like
going to be
John
mostly
Mulaney.
wholesome laughs, but it's going
He's
to be
good.
laughs.
I
Yeah.
think he's a good comedian. Yeah. That's a cool J Hood. I like it. Interesting. You want me to go next?
I could go if
Okay.
you'd like to bat.
Yeah,
Not clean
I'll
up, but third.
Yeah, third. Yeah.
Cleanup would be 4th.
Yeah. Well, we'll assume that the first guy got
Already
on
went.
base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll bat 3rd.
Okay. All right.
I would say my number 1 is Yanni Papi, right? Giannis Pappas, who I saw live, was unlike any stand-up comedian I've seen, right? Just solely for his ability to like freestyle, right? It was his first, when we went to see him, it was his first show after they started doing shows after COVID, right? So, like, he had mentioned not having done a show in 18 months or something like that. Now, maybe he had a whole bunch of shit lined up. Maybe he was coming out hot. I don't know. But he did his material for, like, a good 40, 50 minutes and then just freestyle doing crowd work for another 40 or 50 minutes and was fucking hilarious. My cheeks hurt after seeing this dude, right? So until I see somebody better live or somebody on a special or TV who makes me laugh that hard, I got to put Yanni at number 1.
Like it.
My number 2, I would say, is Theo Vaughn. Now, Theo's only had one special, one stand-up hour of comedy, which was hilarious. But the way that I watch him via podcast or his special or little clips that I've seen, the way his brain works interests the hell out of me.
Yeah,
like
it's unlike
such
anybody else.
It's such a unique style of thought, and the way he's able to like pull these references out of left field, or he's got a lot of misdirection with his comedy. Like you think that you're going to have to wait for the joke, and the punchline comes in mid setup, and then there's another punchline at the end.
Yeah.
And it's just he's kind of like hitting you with a little rope-a-dope, like keeping you on your toes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an original ass thinker.
It's the idea. I would liken Theo's style of comedy to vodka on the microphone as a rapper, like that kind of off kilter. Like you don't know when. You don't know. You think you know what to expect, but every time he hits you before you're about to be ready for it.
Yeah, like Daylight. That's Daylight for me.
And hits you hard, right?
Yeah.
Great fucking jokes. So I'd say Theo's number 2.
Also, even though we're talking about stand-up, it's a caveat. His podcast banter and the fact that he does a weekly show by himself for the most part, and sometimes he has a guest that's like a fucking female truck driver, whatever the case may be. But just his wit and his quickness is unmatched in that realm. I don't think there's anybody off the cuff funnier, and it might just be because his dialect or whatever that strikes me funny.
Yeah.
But just his like. Where the fuck he went with that is just like it blows me away. Like I think that he's one of my favorite podcast listens, period.
Yeah. Because
he's just so funny, man.
I will tell you this, and I meant to actually send it to you on the side of my D block, is that I agree with you, like his podcast banter style and the way he slips little jokes and references in is unparalleled. However, I found a duo that gives him a run for his money, which is when Rick Glassman and Andrew Santino are on a podcast together. It's some of the fucking most entertaining podcasting that I've heard
send me a
since
link.
podcasting.
I'll listen tomorrow.
I will send you all 3 links because you're gonna after you listen to the first one, you're gonna want more.
Good.
It was good.
I love a good podcast.
My number 3, see, I really want 5. I really want 5.
That's not the rules. That's not how the game works.
I'm telling you, I broke the rules here too. So if you want to do,
bitches.
I know.
Well, Cove always breaks the rules.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't feel bad anymore.
He was bending the corner and is 6'4" for Christ's sake.
I would say that my number 3 is Bill Chappelle.
Bill Chappelle.
Bill Chappelle.
So is it Bill
and
Burr
and Dave Burr?
Okay.
Is probably my number 3 because Burr and Chappelle, even though they're not always laugh out loud funny on their special, they do that thing that you mentioned earlier, which is they have you kind of thinking outside of the box a little bit, or they hit you with something where you're like, oh shit, that is right. Like that does happen like that, where it's just not things that you normally address when whatever the situation is that they pull up, whatever the premise may be, they make you look at it from a different angle, but also get you agreeing like, oh yeah, I could see that. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like a very,
social commentary.
He's observant.
Yeah. So I think both of them are very, I think Chappelle in his earlier days had more of the make you laugh out loud style than maybe Bill Burr did. But I think at this point, the two of them are pretty neck and neck with their style and their ability to kind of get you thinking about things.
I love Bill
Burr. As well
Burr.
As being funny.
That special he did in black and white seemed like it was 3 hours too long, and I only think it was an hour and a half.
See, that was one of my favorites, the whatever that one was, where he did it in black and white.
Yeah, I just thought it was really long, and I might have just been tired when I watched it. I love Burr. I'm just saying that one kind of like, I don't know.
I liked it.
Pushed me out a little bit.
And my J. Hood, I think, eking in the honorable mention spot would be Ralphie May. Because, again, both of his, I think he had 2 specials. Both of them were, it's hard to make me laugh wholeheartedly, like a real chuckle, when I'm watching a special on TV, right?
Yeah. In person, you laugh, though.
In person, you'll crack up laughing.
Yeah.
But Ralphie May had me actually, a couple times, had me laughing at the TV. And I think that's kind of a hard hurdle to get somebody to jump over when you're not in person, because you're not in the rhythm of the room and with the crowd, and it's a lot funnier in person. So if you can translate through the TV and still make somebody laugh out loud, You're funny.
He's
You're a
another
fucking
one that
funny
pushes
guy.
the bounds a little bit more than people gave him credit for.
Yeah.
I think he was another.
And I like his style too. He kind of has the Theo, like the kind of dirty South hip hoppy wigger type of rough white kid from a rough neighborhood vibe.
Yeah.
And I guess I relate to that a little bit.
Right.
It speaks to me in some fashion, even though I'm from Washington Township, New Jersey.
Right.
But
we all get it, man.
But we know the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're the white Malcolm X.
Yeah, we know the story. Salam alaikum.
I'm alaikum salam.
Shukran, Aki.
It's haram.
It's not haram. God damn it. It's all halal on this side.
My bad, bro. I only know a few words. All right.
I know.
Inshallah.
Sure.
All right. So my number one is Carlin.
Oh, that's Louis G's number one.
Yeah, Carlin is just the GOAT in my opinion. And I tend to always side with the social commentary comedians more than just like laugh out loud funny because first of all, I like the push. And I think what Carlin did from an artist standpoint, I think is just like far and away more than anyone's ever done for anything. The rants and the fucking over the top, like to remember the kind of shit that he remembered on stage is just unbelievable to me. Like he'd have a fucking premise that was 10 minutes long. And it was rant,
Right.
bang, 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 bang. And it all made sense and it was all kind of like, huh? But it was also fucking hilarious. So Carlin's my number one and far and away my number one. Dave's my number two.
Also Louis G's number two.
Dave?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see if we keep it going.
I don't think it's gonna connect at number three, but I would love to see it.
Okay. All right, so Dave's my number two, and as much as I love Dave early on, I actually like Dave later on a lot better. Dave's special that he did where he's sitting on the stool the whole time on Netflix is one of my favorite all-time stand-up specials, period. I put it right up there with the best specials in the world, and it's dark, and it's deep, and it's thought-provoking, and it's fucking hilarious. He pushes the bounds, but it's the right kind of thing. It's what I think of when I think of Dave Chappelle. I think about him sitting on a stool, smoking a cigarette, talking his shit. And I fucking love Dave. So Dave's my number two. And he solidifies that now. I don't think that, 5 years ago even, I would have put Dave in my number two spot. He might have been in my honorable mention spot, but he wouldn't maybe be in my number two spot.
So he's up from your J Hood to being your Jada?
Yeah.
That's a meteoric rise.
It is, and I think, and a lot of it has to do with the relatively recent Netflix specials, and even the fucking 846 and shit like that. I know that wasn't too funny or anything like that, but it's important shit, and it's fucking it builds to his character whether it's stand up or not. It builds to where I have him in my book, just like Eddie Murphy's SNL will build to you have him in his book. It's impossible to not think of Eddie as Buckwheat or whatever the case may be. Or Beverly Hills Cop or any of that shit. 48 Hours, fuck. So many good movies. Eddie might be the greatest SNL crossover talent. I mean, Adam Sandler. There's a bunch. Will Ferrell.
Mike Myers.
But
I think, depending on how you
can argue Eddie, though, without a doubt.
His movies are better, but I don't know if he made as much money. It just depends on how you're judging it.
But as far as, far and away, guy who is superstar. You know what I mean? Adam Sandler's a superstar, but he's not Eddie Murphy.
No.
So, and I don't think that Will Ferrell is. I don't think there's not a lot of people I can think about from SNL that I really would put up on that.
No, because except for Mike Myers and Mike
Myers. Unless we go on Belushi.
And Mike Myers just has really the Austin Powers movies to show
Chevy
for
Chase.
it.
If we're going old school.
But everybody else, they don't stand on their own. When Adam Sandler does a movie, he surrounds himself with other comedians.
But not always.
Not always, but most.
And his best movies are not like that.
Well, yeah, sure. That small group that he brings with him everywhere is like all his supporting cast.
Spade, Farley, Norm.
Yeah. Whereas Eddie Murphy is generally far and away the lead in the movies that he's the one drawing all the comedy. And the co-stars.
He's also the co-stars.
In some of the movies he is. He's everybody at the dinner table.
Adam Sandler has some really goofy movies that are fucking hilarious,
listen,
dude.
There's no question. The Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison are tremendous movies.
Loved Happy Madison.
Whatchamacallit? Waterboy is great.
Waterboy is great.
Yes, it's not saying that they don't have good movies, just that, if you're talking about who's got the biggest star out of it, it's got to be Eddie.
Yeah, I think it's Eddie.
Unless you go back. Adam Sandler was starred in the only movie that ever gave me anxiety.
Oh yeah,
which was
Uncut
that
Gems.
gambling one. Yeah.
Uncut Gems.
Oh, Uncut
dude.
Gems. He was great in that.
That
Yeah.
was great. He
Yeah.
plays that role like it's him.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so yeah, and a great crossover for him to do that too, because
Yeah.
it really was. It gave me, because usually when you see an Adam Sandler movie, it's an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just
yeah.
getting
He
what
hit
you're
you from
getting
left
out of it.
field on
You
that
kept,
one.
that was the one thing, and it's not his fault, but like while he's playing that role, you kind of every now and then are waiting for it to sort of
Adam Sandler.
go sideways and be
Yeah, yeah.
funny, and it never is because he's great in it.
It
but-
reminded me of how when Jim Carrey, and I know Jim Carrey like crossed over with the Truman Show a little bit, and even Cable Guy was a little bit
pretty
fucking
dark, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Everything stops in the building when Mrs. Quick comes in. What's up, Mrs. Quick?
Mama Quick in
Thanks.
the building.
Thanks for stopping through.
So yeah, so like when Jim Carrey did 23,
Yeah.
when he did especially Eternal Sunshine, like that movie was fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
I
and,
love that fucking movie.
Man on the Moon was really good.
Yeah, Man on the
Yeah.
Moon was great, and he killed it. I
Yeah.
mean, and there was elements of comedy in that. There wasn't really any elements of comedy in Eternal Sunshine.
No.
There was zero in 23, but 23 really wasn't on the level of Spotless Mind or anything like that.
No, it wasn't, but it was a good stretch.
But
to
even
see him do
Truman
that.
Show.
Yeah.
Truman Show's not very funny. It was a very thought-provoking movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies ever. Like, I really it's not like a movie I'd put up there as like, it's not in like the Kubricks and the fucking whatever. It's not there, but it's a movie that I genuinely love that movie because of what it made me feel when I first saw it.
All the best stand-up comedians can play the sad at the world role like flawlessly.
Because they are. They're
Yeah.
sad clowns.
Yeah.
So the half of what they are is sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
Now, the moment that we've been waiting for to see if Louis G's number 3 and Business number 3 line up. Your number 3 is.
There's no way.
Louis C.K.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Louis
who did he
G got Paul Mooney at number 3.
Yeah,
Solid pick.
Paul Mooney is a solid pick, and it's also kind of like picking Pryor when you pick Paul Mooney, because Paul Mooney wrote a lot of Pryor shit.
He did.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, Louis C.K. for obvious reasons is just one of my favorites. He's the closest thing that I think we've gotten to Carlin, but I think Dave is easing in on that Carlin type thing, even though it's not the same kind of thing. Carlin was just like an onslaught, and these guys are not onslaughts, but they are very true to themselves, whatever. But yeah, I love Louis. And then I really got a 4-way tie, but I'm just going to keep it the 2-way tie on my J Hood. And I got Chris Rock and Patrice O'Neal.
Very
Tricky.
good. Very good. Very good.
For Chris Rock was my first, if 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, if you would ask me what my favorite stand-up was, it was Chris Rock, and that was it.
The Bring
Yeah.
the Pain.
Chris Rock was just
Yeah, before
the
you got too
funniest
deep
thing.
into the culture.
Before I started
Yeah.
getting real crazy.
He's definitely a good entry
He's a
level.
starter pack.
Yeah, he's a good entry level without a doubt.
And plus, when you're 10 years old,
Yeah,
that
it's what's
shit
available
is
to you.
the fucking best, dude.
It's like listening to
Oh, here we go.
it's like Eminem getting you into rap. One of the greats, but also you got to go deeper than that.
Yeah.
But
And
it gets you, it brings you in, it puts you on board. You start to understand real hip hop and lyricism and MCing.
So that's why I had to put him on there. Plus, I think he's a GOAT in his own right at some point. I think
sure.
that he was bigger than Chappelle at the point that Chappelle was breaking into the scene. Chris Rock was massive, I think.
Yeah, there's not too many shows I like more than Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, it's a decent show.
Great show.
Um,
Good falling asleep TV.
And then as an adult, I think Patrice O'Neal is not that he's an angry, loud person, but I think he's pretty close to Kinnison as far as his commentary goes. As far
see
as his masculine speak and his all that stuff kind of reminds me of like his dismissiveness of women. You know what I mean? Which I relate to in some kind of way, sexist, whatever the case may be, my problems.
Yeah, you're a toxic male.
Yeah. And then I just had to mention Richard Pryor because I think that without Richard Pryor, you don't have a lot of these guys on this list.
Yeah.
And then for other personal reasons, but I don't think he had the longevity to really showcase what he was about. But I was a huge, huge, huge fan of Bill Hicks. I've probably spent more time watching and dissecting Bill Hicks than I've spent time watching any other comedian. Kinnison's up there too, but you named Kinnison, so I wasn't going to go there. I actually deleted him off of this three-way honorable mention.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You gave us 3 of your honorable mentions. You might as well give us your 4th now.
Well, yeah, it was Kinnison.
Oh,
but
okay.
I deleted it because he wrote it. But yeah, so that's it. But yeah, I think you got to mention Richard Pryor, even though Richard Pryor to me doesn't stand out. He has, and I know that that's blasphemy, but he has some certain bits that are fucking the greatest things ever. And I feel the same way about Eddie too, honestly. I put Pryor and Eddie like on that same kind of thing where there's bits Eddie has where it's just like, holy shit, this is a fucking fantastic bit. The Cosby bit that Eddie did, the fucking tell that motherfucker to have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up when he's talking to Pryor. That's a great bit. Pryor's with the car is a great bit. And then Hicks is just Hicks was just like, I wanted to be like Bill Hicks. Like if I could do what Bill Hicks did to comedy, to rap, like that dark poet, that rooting fucking, I mean, I'm not that guy, but if I would love to present as like this, like you got people like that. You got LPs and you got fucking Idea, or you got, there's people like that.
You want to identify as Bill Hicks from here on out? Because it's like we discussed last week.
It's going to be a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Whatever you'd like to identify as, we will.
The expectation will be that you live up to that shadow, though.
Yeah.
Didn't he die in a fiery car crash?
I thought that was Sam.
Maybe so.
You
know me, bro.
Bill Hicks
never
did die prematurely, but I'm not sure he was killed or died like that. I think he might have just had like a cancer or something like
Pancreatic
Fair
cancer.
enough.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer.
I implore anybody
32.
who's.
Yeah, that's a shame, man. And he really was. I implore people to check out fucking Bill Hicks if you don't know who the fuck he is, because he's not someone that's celebrated on the top tiers of hip hop, of comedy Mount Rushmores by any means, but he was such an incredible asset.
I implore that if you're in the chat and your name's not Lou G, that you drop your best, your favorite comedians in the chat and let us see them. If you're listening on the playback, go ahead and talk filthy in the comments below and fight over who's the top 4 comedians in the world.
I expect to see a comment that says, "Who the fuck didn't mention Richard Pryor in their D block?"
Yeah, let's get that. Let's get that angry comment. Let's talk filthy about it. We are running towards the end of the show here. Do you want to squeeze in a would you rather?
Yeah, let's
We got like
squeeze
10
in
minutes to 2 hours.
Let's squeeze in. Let me ask you this. I got a short one.
Let
We
me
only
ask you
got
this.
3. Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Would you rather speak every language fluently or every instrument perfectly?
I will go right off the rip, and I'm going to say that I would rather speak every language fluently, right? Because I think, although I see plenty of benefits with being able to play every instrument perfectly, and that would be fucking awesome to be able to just hop on an instrument and get funky, I think that for my personal style of life, I would get more benefit out of speaking every language fluently, because that just gives me more people to talk to. And with my, with this unattainable dream of traveling the world, should I be able to speak wildly random African tribal languages that are like clicks and stuff like that, I'm rolling up on them talking in their language, and they're going to be like, what the fuck?
They're going to love you.
Automatically, I'm welcome.
All the
But
barbecues.
the way you're dressed, it looks like you might speak Swahili.
Fair enough.
So every language.
Every language.
Got it. P.
Every instrument. The ability to speak every language isn't going to magically make me more sociable and make me like
You
humanity
knew that's where he was
more.
coming with it.
So I want to be able to play every instrument I can and express myself in every way I can and have at least the potential to leave something behind that people find worthwhile.
Well, that's the thing, is that your expression, your form of expression right now is music.
Yeah.
Right? So it's your way of expanding yourself. It's the tool better suited to expand yourself from who you are. Whereas speaking every language, I feel like is the
you.
tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll go podcast in fucking Cambodia if I want to.
No, you just podcast here, and then it goes to
Reach
everyone
out
and
to
they
the
can hear it.
Cambodians.
Yeah.
You ever see those videos on YouTube where it's like white guy speaks Mandarin at Chinese restaurant,
And they're like,
and everybody loves them? Or like white dude buys dashiki in Nigerian. You know, they're fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, watch that
Because
one.
as soon as somebody, if you're a different culture, especially a culture where you don't expect a white dude, like if a white dude's speaking French or Spanish, like, okay, that happens, right? But you come speaking some Indonesian tribal language, it's like, whoa, what the fuck is this guy? You automatically have somebody on your side. You automatically have the people who speak that language, interested, and you have their respect. You're just gaining respect by saying a few words, because it's Like, obviously, if we get this ability, it's a shortcut, and I'm cheating to get there. But that respect is given because it's like, oh, this guy took the time out of his day to learn how to...
The culture, really. You're entrenched in the culture. If
Right,
you know the
to
way of
learn
the
to
language.
speak some of this. And so you automatically, you know, get a little bit of respect. Even though, so I would be getting the respect, like, on a shortcut, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
How about you, babe?
I got to go musical instrument. And the reason I go musical instrument, I was in between. I didn't know. I was kind of happy that you guys both went first because I didn't really know which one I was choosing.
Right.
But I went with musical instrument off of something you said about the language because I think that music is actually, like, it's like an international language upon itself. And I think you also kind of gain that kind of respect. If I was ill nasty with a djembe drum, you know what I'm saying? Or I could play the tabla like a motherfucker. Or I was sitting there with the, God damn it, if I could throw it down on a recorder, bro. You know what I'm saying?
How about a vocorder?
Whatever. Just there's a plethora of instruments, and
Third time we use that word today.
Is it really?
We're on it.
Plethora of
the word. Yeah.
I'm thinking of other P words at the moment, so it's crazy that one's coming to mind. But yeah, so I think music is the way because I think that overall I have a very strong connection to music. I've never been able to. I mean, I can hold a beat on drums. I can do I can play some cool shit that sounds cool on a minor keyboard.
Yeah.
Getting bored with me?
I'm drumming. I was thinking of drums.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just very self-deprecating.
Yeah, I know.
Working on it. But yeah, I think music is like the universal language upon itself. So I think if you can do anything, I just think about like how fucking sick that would be. You could be an ill session musician. You could meet all different kinds of cool people. You could play on all different kinds of tracks that way. And then just being able to like fucking create your own shit and do literally any genre of music is fucking sick.
Yeah, I mean, check it out, baby pop. I'm not going to be mad if I could play every instrument.
No, yeah, and I'm not going to be mad if I can have any language. I think there's benefits to both of these things. And,
for sure.
But just as a huge fan of music and also my inability to do anything proper musically as far as not just using my voice.
Now you can be
stage.
a proper type musician.
Bro, if I play the guitar, you ready for that Mighty Ford Fills the Blues or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Biz Mighty Ford.
Mighty Ford, bro.
I dig it.
Model T, you hear me?
Do you have another? So let me ask you this.
I think I got two.
All right.
This one's a little goofy. Would you rather have the brain of a squirrel but you're a man, or the brain of a man but you're a squirrel?
I think it's pretty apparent that I would rather have the brain. Well, because do you know that you're not a man if you have the brain of a man and you're a squirrel?
I think if you're a man and you have the brain of a squirrel, I'm not sure that you're computing.
Or you're just like a super smart squirrel who knows mathematics.
If you're a squirrel with a man brain?
Yeah.
You have the brain of a man.
All right, so I think that you get a lot further being a squirrel who has a man's brain, right? Because yeah, you're limited in your physical abilities. You're not going to be driving anywhere. You're most like, well, maybe you graduate college. Because here's what I'm thinking, right? Is that if you're a squirrel with a man's brain, I assume that you can figure out how to talk.
You might be able
right?
to.
So now
I'm not sure if their vocal cords are set up like that, but
so now you're a talking squirrel.
Yeah.
At which point you are a circus sideshow.
yeah,
right?
you could do a lot.
At very least, you're a TikTok superstar
100%.
by being a squirrel with a man brain.
Over there with Zach.
Now, if you're a man who has a squirrel's brain, well, then
Still be a
you're
circus
just riding the
sideshow.
short bus.
You could
know what
probably
I'm
still
saying?
be on a circus
You're
sideshow.
just riding the short bus,
Just
and
eating
nobody's really paying attention to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want you to look at me, damn it.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
P.
I think I would want to be the man with the squirrel brain, and here's why. It feels like it would be such a fucking relaxing existence because you're just not aware of how, like,
Yeah, you're in the moment.
deficient you are.
I don't know about relaxing. You got to get out there and fucking gather your nuts, bro.
Yeah, but it's
but
so
that's
much
all I
easier
gotta
as a
do,
man,
and I'm
too.
taller
But that's a
than-
lot of work.
I'm tall enough, but that's my only focus in life. I guarantee you,
Get the nuts.
there's no
That's
squirrel.
business focus, too.
I know.
Get as many nuts in
He
his
keeps
pocket
saying
as
that's
he
the problem
can.
with the
Shit.
girl.
You hear me?
Like, there's no squirrel sitting around reading the political newspapers. There's no squirrel sitting around learning how to program computers so they can make money. So they're
Except for me,
just moving
because I'm a squirrel with a man's
right.
brain.
So you have twice the stress now because if you're a squirrel with a man's brain, you know that you only got about 20 years on this planet. So you got a short amount of time to do a whole lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
and I got nothing. I'm ignorance is bliss personified.
Sadly, that's true.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's why this game's fun. I'm picking King of the Squirrels, man.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
fucking
Without
the
a doubt.
Lord Squirrel, dude. I'm fucking running
Squirrel
shit.
God.
I got dumbass squirrels doing shit for me.
How?
They're setting shit up. I'm fucking King Squirrel, dude. I'll
Yeah, but
figure
how are
it
you?
out.
But how are you King Squirrel?
I'm King Squirrel, all right? There's not much.
I
We're
think
not
if you have a
elaborating
man
here.
brain, yeah, you get to be King Squirrel
I'm doing
automatically.
stuff. I'm
Like-
doing stuff that other squirrels couldn't even imagine
Of course,
doing.
because you
I'm-
can think it through. But like, can you communicate with them?
Yeah, I'm a squirrel.
You're a squirrel.
So you're still a squirrel even though you have a man brain.
I'm a man brain
Like
squirrel.
he's got him possibly speaking English, but you're saying now they're
That's
bilingual.
his game over there.
I understand.
All right?
I'm asking.
Yeah,
I'm asking
I'm
for clarity.
squirrel, man.
You know, I broke the rules.
Of course.
I'm squirrel. No, we didn't give a caveat on this one. I'm squirrel man.
Okay.
I'm not squirrel man. I'm man squirrel. And I'm fucking. I don't know which one I am. I'm the one that's the king of the fucking
You're the
squirrels.
one that's going to hoard all the nuts.
Squirrel
Everybody has
king.
to come to
You're
you.
squirrel
I'm
king.
doing shit, crazy shit. I
Right.
got squirrels fucking setting up pyramids. I'm climbing the squirrels to jump on the shit. I'm doing wild shit, dude.
You're Barnum
I'm
and Bailey?
fucking all the squirrels because I know all the game. I know how to do all the cool shit. I'm fucking riding a skateboard. I'm
You
getting
think there's
places.
squirrel game?
Yeah, I'm squirrel gaming, dude.
Squirrel games.
I'm fucking the hottest squirrels, dude. The squirrels I'm fucking got
fluffiest
puffy
tails.
tails, man. Let's
Yeah,
go. I got her face in the fucking dirt. She got her mouth on a nut.
Front
Fuck.
teeth just dragging through
Yeah,
like a
man.
rake.
I'm doing stuff.
I figured
dude.
you might even win the Squirrel Olympics.
I'll do all different kinds of crazy shit. I'll become
Because you'll
someone's
know to
pet. I'll be
train.
great at it.
Yeah,
I'll go in and
that'll be
out,
good.
no biggie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The birds don't stand a fucking chance. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you got cool bird feeder, dude. It's at my house.
Yeah,
I'm my
yeah.
squirrel house. It's
Yeah.
like a fucking tree house.
Yeah.
The fucking all the nuts on the tree.
You're
and
gonna
all
solely-
these dumb fucking whore squirrels just sucking my dick. Squirrels have never sucked dick. I will be the first squirrel to receive
get a
oral
squirrel
sex
dick
from
sucked.
another squirrel.
I like that.
No
Yeah, yeah.
teeth. I'm knocking her teeth the fuck out. You do it better
Yeah.
this way, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
King Squirrel.
Get your tail sucked.
I'm a fucking suck my tail, squirrel, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, right? Because being a squirrel with a man brain, these squirrels have been eating acorns for their entire existence,
Right.
their parents' entire existence, their grand squirrels' entire
Yeah.
existence. All they eat is goddamn acorns, right? Maybe every once in a while,
Get a
one of them
walnut.
stumbles across a piece of trash that tastes good.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, squirrels do be in the trash, so you know
Right.
they'll eat some other shit.
But check this out. Imagine the power that you would wield when you show the squirrel colony that you can climb into a supermarket
Yeah.
through the ventilation system.
1,000 of us.
Yeah.
Yo,
Hit-
squad up.
Bro,
I know where the fucking trail mixer's
hit
at,
ShopRite
posse.
hard, bro. And like straight to the produce section.
Know what I'm saying?
You're eating dragon fruit.
crazy shit.
You guys are fucking
So-
splitting cantaloupes with each
No
other.
problem. Full
you know?
watermelons from the inside out.
Cracking into crates of strawberries.
I'm doing wild shit, bro.
Yeah.
I literally got at my house, in my tree house that I got with all the bitches sucking my tail off.
Yeah.
I got motherfucking a
All
whole
the
surplus
snacks.
of trail mix, cuz.
You got
I'm
all
talking
the
all that
2022
shit. Cause me
snacks.
and the squad rolling up. Me and the squad's rolling up. Squad deep. What are they gonna do? Imagine you work at the Wawa, right?
Yeah.
And the squirrels just rolling that motherfucker, bro.
You got no
What they
choice
gonna
but to
do?
succumb to
You
the
can't-
fucking riot.
Motherfuckers gonna be jumping. They're rodents, bro.
Yeah.
We king rodents right now.
Yeah.
We're cute ass motherfucking
God
rodents.
squirrel.
You don't even want to just stomp on a squirrel. Squirrels is kind of
No,
like
that's
your
a mess.
people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a mess.
Dude, and just laying out. You ever seen a squirrel underneath the car, just laying out underneath the joint with
Chilling.
their flat belly on
Yeah.
on the ground, just keeping cool.
Well,
man?
you know-
that shit alone makes me want to be a
Listen,
squirrel.
you
Fuck
know-
a man brain. I'd just rather be a squirrel. Word to God.
You know that you can hop onto, like, you could climb up in the guts of a vehicle and just catch a ride somewhere, right?
Yeah,
That's
not-
how you travel. I'm gonna just hop in this car, see where it takes
I
me.
might start fucking human bitches.
You know
bro.
what
The
I
kind
think
of
you
squirrel
should.
I am.
I think you should. I think I think
I'm
that's
King
definitely something
Squirrel.
to put on the list. I was gonna say I'd be like that squirrel who water skis.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Word.
I'm blowing him out the water literally.
I'm gonna be fucking snowboarding.
Yeah.
Get me a little snowboard,
Next
bro.
level.
I'll cut a fucking styrofoam cup in half and do it my damn self.
Bro,
I don't need nobody. I'm King Squirrel.
I'm gonna get like the Tech Deck skateboards.
Oh.
I'm getting a BMX one with the BMX park.
Let's go.
So now I'm wild BMX squirrel.
Bro, I'm going to get a motherfucking...
First squirrel to pull a 900 on a BMX bike, cuz.
Bro, I'm going to get a motherfucking race car, and I'm going to be out there pulling bitches in my motherfucking gas-powered race car, bro.
Yeah,
and
I like
just,
that.
you know what I did? I just went inside the hobby shop, and I just took that shit. What the fuck you going to do? Stop a squirrel?
'Cause you
Can't
can.
stop a squirrel.
Yeah.
Ain't no laws for us. This is my planet, bitch.
You know what I'm doing? I'm climbing into the claw machine and taking all the prizes.
Bro, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? For all them times that the claw beat everybody that ever got beat by the claw,
I'm here for you.
I'm getting it back.
I'm putting claws out of business, bro.
Yeah.
Wildwood is cooked. I'm out there.
Every claw. That's gonna be the mission. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I'm gonna squad up, and the mission is to attack all claw machines.
Bro, could you
get
imagine?
our payback?
Could you imagine? I'm King Squirrel over here on the Philly side.
Yeah.
You King Squirrel over here on the Jersey side.
Bet.
We meet up on the bridge.
Yeah.
We surround. Our tails are wet as fuck, yo.
Yeah.
Getting our tails sucked all crazy. I'm like, yo, bro, how you get your tail sucked all crazy? And you like, yo, bro, I'm King Squirrel on this side. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, bro, me too. Now imagine what our powers combined, what we could accomplish.
We could take over Delaware.
with
you'd
two
be,
King
you'd
Squirrels.
be fighting. You'd be fighting over
No, no,
turf.
no,
Absolutely,
no,
yeah.
no.
Nah, it's
Not
still
too-
my man brain.
Bro.
It's still Cove's
Nah,
man
nah.
brain. We're
Not
dope.
too-
We got a
your
squirrel
whole-
podcast
whole-
on Mondays.
Your whole
We're
group,
real
your whole
ass
group
squirrels.
is going to be like, why are you listening to that guy? I thought you were the guy to listen to. What's
They don't
happening
know.
now?
We
Nah,
just
bro.
here together.
Bro, we're RSL. Realest squirrels living.
We cooking, bro. We're doing shit. We got major plans here.
That's
Yeah, I
what the
heard.
podcast is
As
called.
soon-
The
as soon as
podcast
you-
is called RSL.
As
Listen.
soon as you wake up as the apex squirrel, apparently
I'm
for you it's
Apex
all heists
Squirrel on
and
that
horse.
side of the river, bro. He could be Apex Squirrel on this side of the river.
Right.
Yo, he can
And
come
what
over
happens if
there.
he infringes?
We got more trash on my side. He got more woods on this
I don't
side.
know.
Nah, I'm saying.
I don't know.
That's
we
what I'm
out
saying.
here,
Look,
bro.
long as I get the phone
You got
call,
the beach, bro. We
Listen.
at the Wildwood, man.
doing the claw thing.
Doing the claw thing.
Yeah.
Yo,
long
we
as I
can't
get
just,
the
what
call.
we gonna do? Just roll with just Jersey side of Wildwood? Nah, bro, we gotta go
Yeah,
squad.
that's how turf works.
Bro, we gotta go squad deep. Listen, I'll give him some kickback. He can have all the stuffed animals he wants.
Oh, look,
He
see?
wants
Now,
them
now
tickets.
he's the top of the food chain.
No.
No,
Only
no,
because
no.
he's letting us rock in Jersey, bro. It's
Yeah,
his
that's
block.
how this fucking goes, man. Anytime a squirrel crosses a squirrel sells a nickel bag in the park,
I want
That's what I'm
in.
saying.
I want parts.
You
That's what
guys
I'm
got
saying.
fat while I was away.
Yeah, this is what I'm
Motherfucker
saying.
got the trail mix with the M&Ms in it, bro.
And being RSL, as soon as another RSL crosses the bridge into Jersey, I get hit on the Motorola two-way. Bloop, bloop.
Right.
Yo, me and the crew are coming through. I'm like, yo, whatever y'all need, you're good. And if I cross the bridge to the other side,
We
bloop, bloop.
got you.
Yo, we're going to rob stash spots in Kensington. You cool with that? Like, yeah, no doubt.
You
You know
got
what I'm saying?
squirrels doing blow
Now I
before we
got
go up
squirrels
there?
hustling. Because as a squirrel, you could run into an alley and just watch, right? So
Yeah.
now you see the dope boy going back to his stash where there's $5,000 worth of drugs. And in Kensington, there's a whole bunch of little stash spots of $5,000 worth of drugs
True.
in alleys everywhere.
Yep.
They walk off. You're squirrely. You know what I mean? You just run in there, grab it with your mouth, take off. Now, obviously, we are going to need a human friend.
Yeah, we could befriend a human. I don't think we need a human friend.
I think
Bro,
it's gonna help
we could
to have a
swirl
human
up
friend.
and form Voltron, cuz. I'm talking about we get like 3,000
Swoltron?
squirrels, and Squirreltron, bro, for real.
Yeah.
So we just start getting it all together, and we just turn into like this big giant squirrel, and like you're like, damn, bro,
Mighty
that's the
Morphin
biggest
Rodent
squirrel I've ever seen.
Rangers.
In real life, though, it's like upwards of 3,000 squirrels standing on top of each other, moving in slow motion like Godzilla squirrel.
Yeah. I'm with it.
And then they make movies about us.
Squirrel it is. It's going to be tough. Do you even want to attempt to give us one more?
No, nothing's gonna top Squirrel. I mean, I could do it, but it's not gonna be Squirrel Kings.
Yeah, so let's just let it be what
we'll
it
dead
is.
it.
Let it be what it was, and because it is what it is and never what it was.
And we always gonna be King Squirrel, dog. And if you don't think my tail always wet, you fucking bugging.
Do I got to say anything else?
I don't think so. They made it this far, though.
If they made it this far into the show, we got to respect them. We got to show love. We got to show our utmost admiration for your admiration for us.
Clapcleats.com.
Yeah, I think that still exists. Or maybe it doesn't, but
Let's find out.
Test the koozies.
yeah. Testacoozie's, clap cleats. Actually, in all reality, 7-1 Construction.
True that.
You got any type of construction project going on in your house, you listen to this, and you're not scared to invite me and my company into your home? give us a call, 856-729-7278. We service pretty much everything in between your foundation and your roof. Nobody works harder. We have another podcast on Friday night, which is me and Payday and occasionally a guest. That is called The Gig Podcast. It's at 9 o'clock for the live episode, same spot. Also, there's a whole gang of other The Gig podcasts on the YouTube channel, which is The Gig Podcast channel on YouTube.
Where you could also find episodes of The Tool Shed, including the entire backlog of The Gig Podcast. So you can get your podcast storytelling good times on at YouTube when you search Gig Podcast.
And that's the thing. We need you to get there, and we need you to subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Not asking you to listen every single day unless you like it. Go ahead.
And tell somebody.
We need to get to 100.
We're trying.
So that we can say, go to YouTube/The Gig Podcast instead of telling
watch
them to
the
search
live
it out.
show.
Right.
Yeah.
Just go in there, and you're good. Subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe, please.
If we get 100, we can go live directly on YouTube too, I believe, which maybe will be the switch. Keep an eye out. Just keep your eye on us because things are shape-shifting and changing all the goddamn time.
That's right.
And you never know what you're going to get out of us, but you do know that you're going to get a good time when
You're
you
going to enjoy
listen.
yourself.
So we thank you for listening. We thank you for hanging out. We thank you for talking filthy in the comments. And we hope to see you Friday and also next Monday when Biz comes back for another episode of The Tool Shed when we have special guest Branderson Silva. So that's going to be a doozy of a show.
If you a pretty bitch, get your feet out.
Yeah. And
While it's still nice out.
any babes, slide in Biz's DMs.
Yeah,
Feet
man.
first.
I'm ready.
Feet first.
Slide in my DM feet first, baby.
Slide feet first
I will
into his
tongue punch
DMs.
your fart box. I'll eat your twat, suck your toes, whatever the fuck you want, man. I ain't afraid of nothing. You heard me?
Thanks for watching.
Peace.
You're a dirty squirrel. Now, this is my friend. He's been rapping for a long time. Off the top of the dome, he's quite the lyricist.
Sometimes.
We're going to go ahead and drop a beat, listen in, and see what happens. Please join us as we get into Biz Raps.
Yeah, chump me, love me, you ain't not a dummy, The bull dive and my best friend sipping on something like my name was fucking Bum B. Yeah, the main John front B, side John skinny and she bumpy. Down there like an in-ground hair, fuck around like you don't want it around down here. Like a mint bleak, tempt me, you never chest me. Touching your chest because your chest weak. Right through your chest, I'm talking sternum, I burned them. You know what I heard, you know I murdered them. They be laying on the concrete, you beyond weak. I do it on me, turn them mincemeat. I could do it this week. Talk to me while my bopping like it's Blitzkrieg. It's me, once again, clap, sing. Bring it back, oh, that thing, that ring. like I'm Petey. You never wanna see me. Your John got skin tags. I thought it was graffiti.
Ooh.
They don't need me. Throw it up like Malimi. Yeah, but they don't believe me. Yeah, they wanna see ya. Smoking the Dutch, filled with the dust on the bench like I'm stuck. Like what the fuck is really? Put it down. Coming all over your mama gown on her wedding. That be the third one. Tell your mama to burn one.
Yeah.
Fuck round like I did it. You got your perm run out, dumb out, done it, love it. No, we spittin', never a drought. I never did it off for the clout. Bitch, I'm smoking, you know it's open. I be choking up on these clouds. They know that I was round. They want it down. I be fucking your bitch, not well endowed. She rather suck me than fuck you when it ain't comfortable. They wanna love me like I'm loving you, it's tough to do.
Yeah.
I'm a G. Motherfucker, I be double O, right to the D. Double O, like right to the 7. Free falling like I'm Tom Petty. In Tower 7 on 9/11.
Yeah.
I'm a real one. You wanna feel some? Go on, suck it like suck it, bitch. That's the seal song. Like, you gon' catch it like it's a hollow tip. You don't acknowledge it. You need a scholarship. You wanna follow shit right into a pit. Not the gravel, or you changing the channel. Quick. I be wearing a flannel. Fuck around like you don't understand it. You need a manual. Yeah, that's the manual labor. I just wanted to taste her, touching up on her labias.
Yep.
Motherfucker, that is my neighbor. I wanna suck her forever. She know the flavor.
Yo.
I could save her on my chin strap, bitch. That get it on this stack and this cat like a feline, but he line. I don't know what he doing, but you know he prime.
Yeah.
Like steak, bitch, you get shake. I'm Bill Cosby, Ben Crosby, no rape. Fuck round with me, they seen him, he not fake.
Yeah.
You so frail, my dick bump like Braille. Hell, like it was rain. No shit, I'm insane. Fuck around, it's my game. I'll be rising over you like my name. David Blaine, they know the bull. That wanna fire with the flame with the tiger like I was Bam Bam Bigelow. Everything that I'm doing is so fire, I'm flowing like I'm Cicero. I'll be all in your ass like fat bitches like Cisco go. Oh shit, where that Crisco go? Fat shit, bitch, I do it for the Lord. I did it for like ever, cause you know that shit was hard. The bull mighty, he be on the boulevard. And every time they see him, they like, damn, that bull is hard. 1 time, 2 time, do it in your ass. I make it bubble when you fart. You know you love it cause it's coming from the heart.
Yup. I don't think you could have ended that off any better. You want to keep going? You're kind of on fire.
Was that good?
You little squirmy little worm. You little squirrel, you dirty little squirrel. You nasty squirrel.
Damn, that's King Squirrel.
Oh, shit. Hey, yo, new freestyle, King Squirrel.
Yeah, I'm out for the nut. I be in your butt. Yeah, I'm trying to get a slut. Yeah, got a strap back. You know a snapback. Handle that on that last button like you have that.
Yeah.
Mint craft mat. Tick the mattress. Oh, a fat bitch. Third one, a hat trick.
Yeah.
You know I had it, making a habit. I'm in the backyard bouncing bunny rabbits. That shit is tragic. I'm talking magic, black like have this. Ooh, I had to have it. They wanna slap it. I brought it back quick. Fuck round with me like you know that I could lap it. The way I run it, I'm Marion Jones. I'm archaeologist. The way she carry these bones right into her throat. No, that she could coat. The G-O-D, them bitches just overdose. I know that I over most of these Johns. I be so on. They be looking at me wrong. Say that it was long, but they ain't talking this long. They talking about the game though. Bitch, you seen a rainbow. Skittles, you could taste it. Right up in your face quick. Fuck around amazing. Something like that gray shit. Bitch, I'm on my Kelly shit. Not like the green shit. Y'all to that mean shit. I'ma flick the bean quick. Talk about that chili, no T-bots. Matter of fact, it's the left eye, Nelly. I'm on piss on Jones like R. Kelly. They gon' piss on dudes like it's the celly.
Yup.
They fuck with me for real, they never felt me.
Never.
They wanna talk about he did it at LP. No white rapper like the show. They be looking at this rapper like he go. Motherfucker, what he doing, yo? He handled like a pro. Motherfucker, I ain't talking about a stick shift with my Richard gear. Just lick my dick up here. I ain't talking about no pretty woman. This bitch is so ugly, they never wanted it. Trust me, that pussy be smelling musty, but really, I gotta feel it. They gotta feel it, and really, I gotta kill it. These motherfuckers be in it for like a million seconds. I wanna get it. They know about it in the record. They fuck around and forget it. Like Drake, Hey, they don't want to be shady. They looking at me like maybe, but really wanted the Brady like Wayne.
What?
Hey, white boy that was Wayne, but white boy isn't playing, cause white boy against the grain like sandpaper. Had a hater but never make her. I really want to take her at home and I want to taste her. Yeah, I said it once before and then I said it again because I got my thick hair growing longer than Dumbledore. Looking at your friends and they looking at me. And I'm looking at them back. Already told you that I'm looking at your friends.
Yeah.
And it depends. Because I don't really know how to act. They want to talk a lot of smack like dope and shit. They want to talk to the boy like we close and shit. But we ain't close and shit because we ain't close for shit. And I ain't close for shit because I ain't open, bitch. Fuck around like you hope this shit. I'll be woken, bitch. But my pocket's still broken, bitch.
Yeah.
Outspoken, they know this, bitch. Fuck around like you quote him. But you just really know I'm sick. Talking ill, motherfucker. Falling over like you took pills, motherfucker. Really wanna come over the krill, motherfucker. Holla at your boy and suck a dill, motherfucker. That's what I'm talking like you pain like a window to the sill, motherfucker. Like an Eminem line that was corny. Y'all feel me? I'm 40, I'm 30, I'm 31. I'll be the dirty one. They fuck with me like they heard a son.
Yeah.
Sun Ray like you dumb gay. And everybody loves Raymond on the one way. They fuck with me if they really want it one day. They talking to me like they really want their gunplay.
Nope.
I'm talking my date, I'm irate, they know they find me. I wanna show you that I know what the signs say.
Yeah.
To increase the crime rate. I'm on the one way doing about 90. They wanna find me, rewind me, they have me. I'm busting up your hiney, and then I'm in your hymen, a rap Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
That was better, right?
I don't know if y'all really realize or really understand
really get it.
that y'all are dealing. He said he's the rap Neil Diamond,
King
but
Squirrel.
there's no doubt that King Squirrel is actually the hip hop Rod
You
Stewart,
know what I'm saying? Barry Manilow. How low?
the motherfucking boom bap Jimmy Buffett in the building.
You know what I'm saying? I'll take you to Margaritaville.
He'll do it.
Margaritaville.
And he took the headphones off, so he doesn't know there's another beat playing. And we don't want to keep it. We don't want to wear out his
burn him
voice
out,
box, yeah, because he just gave us
Save up for next week.
2 heaters. And if you liked what you heard here, go check out Biz Mighty on YouTube. He's got a gang of videos,
Got a bunch of stuff.
whole gang of shit. Check out his check out the Bull SoundCloud.
Yo, check out my SoundCloud. Check out my SoundClick.
You got a Bandcamp?
Yo, check out my Bandcamp.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Check out the Bandcamp.
If you
search
go-
Biz Mighty on
MySpace.
on Netscape.
I know you see me on X page. I know you got me on Zanga. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Peep out my blog. You
You
know what I'm
got
saying?
the amateur porn shit popping on RedTube.
I'm the boy, they call me young 9-year-old dick. That's what my name is on Pornhub.
I
Uh-huh.
don't think that's the way to go, but I see
That's
what you're doing.
what, no, it's hairy, but it's
Yeah,
the
I
size of it is a 9-year-old.
He's at your local flea market selling trinkets.
I'm saying
And
I got
VHS
trinkets.
tapes.
I got off-brand precious moments joints right next to the mixtapes. You heard me? I got everything you need.
You might see him at the liquor store stocking the shelves with Zimas.
Know what I'm saying? Cause Zimas taste delicious. I don't give a fuck what you got to say about
You
it.
say you got fake hummels at the
I
at
got
the flea
fake
market?
hummels, cuz. And we don't even call them fake hummels.
You might catch
Fumbles.
Just say
you-
fumbles on the bottom.
the bull ice cold like a homemade Jello popsicle.
Know what I'm saying? And you can suck on that.
Yeah.
That might have been the best part of the outro. Is the
We're
fucking
funny sometimes.
talk shit.